It's 10 o'clock. I'm Chris Lepresti. The Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. Also sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Is pain stopping you from doing what you love? Physical therapists at Motion create a personalized plan that can get you moving safely and confidently. Again, no referral needed. Most insurance is accepted. Find a location near you. Schedule an appointment today at motionptg.com. Well, the Knicks are now 0-4 on the road this season. A back-and-forth affair down in Miami last night. They rallied late with a chance to tie across the final few possessions. Couldn't get multiple looks to fall. End up losing to the Heat 115-113 for head coach Mike Brown.
What a game. I thought for the most part both teams played really hard. I thought tonight, we didn't touch the paint and spread as much. They did a good job staying with our shooters.
And their shooters 9 of 36 from three-point range, while Miami was 40% from distance. No Jalen Brunson or OG Anunoby in this one. We'll see about Brunson and that ankle injury for tomorrow night's road game against his former team, the Mavericks. Tyrod Taylor will reportedly get his shot to lead the Jet offense, as it is said that Aaron Glenn will bench Justin Fields in favor of Taylor for this week's game against the Ravens. We'll see if and when Glenn decides to confirm that report. Monday Night Football, Cowboys beat up the Raiders 33-16. 4 touchdown passes for Dak Prescott, while Quinnen Williams in his Dallas debut had 5 quarterback hits and a sack and a half. Fan weather sponsored by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. No one sells more Lexus vehicles in New Jersey than Ray Cattina Lexus. Get into the holiday spirit during the Lexus December to Remember sales event. Unwrap exceptional offers on all models, including the all-new GX and TX at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. 42 degrees, sunny skies in Central Park. And with Sports Flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lepresti.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Never, BT, did I think we'd ever start a show talking about Monday Night Raw, but here we are. And it wasn't just because Hoff and I were in the building for it, which was a great event, but more so because you saw some Giants in the building as well. Maybe not the best optics for Cam Scatterbo, who's injured, and Abdul Carter, who is, being dragged yesterday for all the stuff that we talked about with sleeping through the meetings or the walkthrough. Maybe not the best optics for the Giants last night.
Was Abdul awake? I'm just checking. And by the way, why not just have Cam go off the top rope, do a little Macho Man, maybe do a little Hogan leg drop or a little Bundy splash. Now, listen. So, I don't want to be the buzz killer around here. That's dumb. By Cam Scatterbo.
Having Cam involved
in
it.
The Abdul Carter stuff is different. Like, he made a mistake and we hit that, and that's a bigger picture in terms of Giants culture, and we've talked about that. We will continue to talk about that. And I know we deleted some tweets. I don't think it was a good look. I'm not a fan of the way he's starting his Giants career. The Cam Scatterbo, but you're a grown man. You can go out to Monday Night Raw. So that doesn't really bother me that he was out there at all.
He's been everywhere. He was at UFC. It seems Cam has been everywhere. And for those of you who don't know what the hell we're talking about, Cam Scatterbo and some Giants, including Abdul Carter, were at Monday Night Raw last night in the first row, and they had a little scripted altercation in which you saw Scatterbo get in one of the wrestlers' faces and then got pushed back.
Yes, he did. And that's the problem. And that's the problem. Listen, and it was obviously scripted, as you said. And, I'm saying, wow, yeah, right. Is it real, Dad? I was my grandmother to the day that she passed away. May God rest her soul. She really, truly thought wrestling was real. Either way, I thought that there was a chance that and I didn't know Carter was going to go, but once I heard that Cam Scatterbo was going to be in attendance, I thought there was a chance that they'd write him into the script. I thought it would be a little bit more physically innocuous. And again, I'm not here to be the buzzkill or holier than thou or the headmaster or the dean of discipline. But, dude, use common sense. The last time we saw Cam Scatterbo in a New York Giants uniform, his ankle was pointed in the absolute wrong direction. It was hanging by a thread. Okay, so obviously his season is over. I hope that he's able to regain his career. Most doctors think that he will. I'll trust them. But that was a heinous, grotesque, very problematic injury. And, it's not so much that he was sitting ringside or that there was a little push or that there was scripted stuff. It's there's certain things that you still can't script. Say it the Force, and maybe I'm overthinking this too much. All right, but the Force, I don't even know who pushed him back.
I forget. Hoff, maybe you could check that out.
He's on the phone. Whoever it was, I guess it's fairly insignificant. But his shove was fairly hard.
Mysterio. It was Dom Mysterio who pushed.
It was Dom
who pushed him. Yeah, that's
all right.
right.
So when Cam pushed Dom, it had some force behind it.
He gave him a good shove.
It gave him a good shove. Now, Dom, of course, handed up, and he went flipping and flying backwards somersault to the ring, and then he came back and he shoved Scadaboo. So all those things are written within the script. But here's a question. Like, what happens if there's a little beer or a little water or a little seltzer on the garden floor, and he slips? And he loses control. Like I am again. I'm not mad. I'm not trying to ruin the young man's life. Have fun, man. You're young. Go for it. But there's certain things you can't control. It's not a hamstring. Your ankle was hanging off. I don't think that was smart last night at all. I'm sorry.
Okay, before I dive into my thoughts on this specific incident, remember with Malik Neighbors, was that last year when
that was the concert?
Right
after the concussion.
After he was concussed.
Yes,
showing up at a concert. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I get you got to live your life, but when you get hurt like that and you're out and you can't perform for your team in season, is it the best thing to do to be all over social media and all up in the videos and the concerts and all this stuff? So I like optically it just doesn't add up to me, but then I have to say, okay, well, they're young kids. You're not going to prevent them from living their life. It's just a hard time. Hey, if you can't play football and do your job with a concussion, why are you at a concert? And now with Scadaboo, seeing him at UFC, okay, that was one thing. Oh, hey, there's Cam Scadaboo. Seen him wheel around and he had that last night. We saw him backstage. Hoff's son got a picture with him, so we saw Scadaboo, and he was there wheeling around on his cart. But I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't shocked that he got pushed. Him pushing, fair enough. Him pushing, whatever.
I don't even love that.
Fair enough, because it's your physical. You're involved in a physical. While it is, even if it is scripted, you're right. It's physical nature. Anything can happen. God forbid he got hurt again doing that. Now, it's not the first time we saw this. We saw Halliburton do something.
Against Brunson.
I don't remember. Yeah, right. I don't remember the Brunson, but Halliburton, I think, showed up at one of the events right after tearing his Achilles.
I remember. Is that timing definitely true?
I'm not 100%
I remember
sure.
that the Brunson, the Brunson,
but that was different.
Was before he hurt his Achilles, so he went back after he hurt his Achilles.
But he showed up.
Okay,
but I don't think there was anything physical.
Well, I mean, that's the point. This guy's written into the script.
Right. It's one thing if you're there. It's another thing to say, hey, do you mind if we get involved in a little scrum?
Let me ask you a question. So again, Cam Scadaboo he's almost like a cult superhero figure. And like if he didn't get hurt and it wasn't so gruesome, he projected this impenetrable force, like he was beyond destruction. Correct. Even though, of course, we know he's not. He's a human being.
I think he believes.
Yes, which we all love and we all respect. So maybe it's a little different. Middle round running back. He's going to be. What if that was Jackson Dart? What if Jackson Dart, God forbid, had that kind of an ankle injury, and Jackson Dart, a month after that surgery, is being shoved ringside at the Garden?
Well, Jackson Dart, I'm sure he could have gone. And by the way, he might be on track to play this week. The last that I was reading, maybe it's sounding good.
Yeah, I think he's going to play.
Into that. Okay, so that means he's getting healthier, right? Well, who's his best butt on the team? Isn't it Scadaboo?
Boys Cam.
So why wasn't Dart? Why didn't he feel the need to go there and be front row last night?
I would like to think that Mr. Dart is in the playbook at the facility till midnight, doing what young quarterbacks do.
Now, a little bit different because Scadaboo out for
100%.
Okay, but Abdul Carter's not. So current players who are playing this week. I mean, I think Carter's going to be playing. Who knows if he's suspended or what for what other walkthrough he may miss. But other players like Dart could have gone last night and could have showed up, but he, for whatever reason, I guess, chose not to. And Scadaboo could have gone and just not chose to get physical. I don't think it's a huge deal, but when you think about the optics of it, where the Giants are at, I don't even, like, they're walking around with the championship belt. You're 2-0.
Championship belt? You're one of the second worst teams in football.
That? They had the Giants championship belt.
I did.
They're 2-9.
How dusty is that thing?
It's just not. Optics.
It's a bad look.
Yeah, exactly. Optics do matter in today's world.
Yeah.
It's a bad look. Then on top of that, it's a unnecessary risk that you would take by getting involved in even the smallest of physical storylines.
Culture is a very broad term, and we try to get a sense of like when culture is shifting, whether it was Tom Thibodeau early with the Knicks or what Aaron Glenn tried to do with the Jets here in year one. Does anybody think the Giants' culture is good? Now, again, last night is just a little teeny tiny thing, but and again, I used the word optics yesterday. Yeah. You just used it. I try to stay away from that word because it's almost sometimes it's lazy, although it's certainly applicable here. I'm not saying you saying it's lazy, nor how I used it yesterday. I did think it fit, but it's just so broad. Culture, this or that, whatever, or optics. It does matter. I mean, you got number 3 overall pick sleeping at the facility. Your team stinks. You've given up 4 fourth-quarter leads that you've blown. The head coach got whacked. For some reason, the defensive coordinator should have been whacked. He's still here. For some reason, the GM, who hopefully is going to get whacked, is still here. And you got a guy on a scooter whose ankle was surgically repaired. He's probably got 9 screws in it, hanging up by a thread, getting pushed by Rey Mysterio. Come on, man.
Well, Dom Mysterio.
Dom Mysterio.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio was there.
Won. Didn't he win?
He fought with Cena. All right, BT and Sal, the fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire. It actually is sad how far the Giants have fallen. To your point, it's not just about last night. It just doesn't seem to end with this team. Even when they try to do something fun, because of their record and what's gone on the last several years, it's just hard to believe how far the Giants have fallen. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Peter in North Jersey starts us off. What's up, Peter?
Hey, Pete.
Hey, guys, what's going on? You can't pop what you're saying right now. I mean, I understand you're trying to come, with a certain angle on this, but there's no way you two actually believe that optically this thing is bad. And you even just admitted yourself that the word gets overused. This was a fun thing. You got shocked because of the simple fact that that's what the WWE lives and dies by, shocking people with people who show up and do this.
Yeah, but just, I get that, Pete. You have kids, yes or no? You have kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. How many? I don't know how old they are, but mine are 9 and 10. And even now, a little bit like they're messing around, they're playing, and they're having fun. I'm like, guys, it's going to go from fun to bad very quick if you hit your head on the corner of the table, or you try to carry your sister with one arm and you slip, and I get it. I'm all about having fun. I'm not against I'm not the fun police.
That is such a stretch. That is such a stretch.
But hold on, Pete. Pete. That's the WWE script. That doesn't mean that the Giants have to adhere to it.
Yeah, but the NFL's adhering to it. You watch all these games. You can't tell me that there's not a chance that they're trying as hard as they can to get some level of that same excitement.
Hold on, Pete. You're conflating.
Pete, what are you talking about?
You're conflating multiple items. I appreciate the call, and you don't agree, and that's fine. We respect that. But you just completely hijacked, and what you said makes no sense. Because we're not talking about the officiating or the level of effort on Sundays or Monday nights from the NFL players or the bad refereeing or the officiating. We're talking about a guy who's still in a scooter, and again, whose ankle had to be surgically reconnected, getting pushed by somebody who's about 250 pounds. And number one, it's not a good look, but more importantly, could have gotten hurt.
Correct. I mean, simplify it. I'm saying I don't think it's a big deal. I'm not going to go nuts. Maybe BT feels more strong about it, but you have to go based off of the facts. Not a good look for either Abdul Carter or Cam Scadaboo to be there involved. Carter shouldn't have been there, period. And Scadaboo shouldn't have been involved in any physical script. Here's the other fact. Okay, wrestling is scripted, right? We know that. Like, the storylines are scripted. Do wrestlers ever get hurt?
Hey, think about when Jake the Snake Roberts got smacked with the guitar by the honky tonk man. They thought it was gimmick. They basically broke his neck. He had a concussion for like 5 months.
Wrestlers get hurt all the time. Now, obviously, it wasn't like Scadaboo was in the ring doing backflips off the top rope. However, he got pushed pretty good.
Yeah, that's WrestleMania, by the way, when he's jumping off the top rope.
Yeah, okay,
they're going to write him into the script
might,
more.
Maybe. I'm just saying, let's not pretend like he couldn't on a bad leg that is in a boot, so much so that he's got to have a scooter to get around. He got shoved really good. It wasn't, thankfully. It could have been bad. There's no need to put yourself in that spot. Mm-hmm. That's the point. Why do that? Why even put yourself in a predicament like that? Have somebody else. Have Abdul Carter get pushed. What, was he afraid of the contact? Maybe. I mean,
he'll get near Mysterio, and then he'll breathe on him, and he won't be able to push him.
They went with Cam Scadaboo in the storyline because he's the badass tough guy.
Yep.
Well, big bad Abdul Carter, number 3 pick, who's actually healthy. They didn't want anybody breathing on a wrestler or sniffing them. That's what Abdul Carter does best. He breathes and sniffs quarterbacks instead of sacking them. So they wanted somebody who could actually get physical, so they go to Cam Scadaboo. But it's just optically not good. Does it mean the Giants? Look, you guys can paint it any rosy way that you want. The Giants have been, and this is putting it kindly, an embarrassment of an organization for years. Yeah. And it just continues to be to be bad for a variety of reasons.
I also think that both young men, and they are young men, young men, I think they got bad advice. You know, if I'm Abdul Carter's reps, I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call him out and say, listen, Abdul, let's probably lay out tonight. It's been a rough day. You know, not that we're not going to get past this. We'll figure a way around it, and, you know, we'll be fine with the Giants, and the Giants will eventually be fine with us. But probably not the best thing to show up there tonight at Monday Night Raw at the Guard. That's number one.
He showed up on time. He was early for that.
Yeah, he was ready to roll. And then Cam, you know, Cam's reps should have probably been like, all right, listen, Cam, if you're going to go there, you know, listen, you can't practice. You don't have any use to the Giants now. Just don't get physically touched, nor should you push anybody.
I mean,
think about the force. Sal, I know that people hear, no, it's not. I know people hear this are like, oh, God, and I'm a little bit more, I'm not going nuts, but I'm even a little bit more than you. Mm-hmm. Some people are hearing this saying, oh, what an overreaction. Guys, think about, it wasn't like a love tap, right? Or it wasn't like they were just yelling in each other's face. When you shove somebody, the energy that you, like, if you really do it, which Cam Scadaboo did, like there's, especially when you haven't done much in the last month, there's an element of physical unpredictability that your ankle has not had since before it got hurt. It's just an unnecessary risk.
By the way, I don't even have a problem with Cam shoving Mysterio. I have the issue with the shove back because if you go back and watch it, and again, I was there, I saw it, they were sitting right across from us. It turned into a scrum. Like Cam got pushed back to a point where I don't think he was expecting that type of shove, and then who knows what could happen behind you. There's just no need for it.
Can't control it at that point.
Look, the bigger deal is that the Giants suck. That's the bigger deal. The bigger deal is Joe Shane. The bigger deal is who's going to be the next head coach. We all understand those are the bigger issues. But on top of all that, with your star running back who can't play because he has a significant injury, he's out for the year, do you need to see him scrumming it up with one of the wrestlers on Monday Night Raw?
Of course not.
Rich is in Tom's River. What's up, Rich?
Hey, Rich.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. You guys hit everything I'm saying. I agree with you guys 100%. I have two things to say real quick. Mm-hmm. Number one is, obviously, you know, they're terrible and it's a terrible look. But I got a question for you guys. Who signs off on this? Like Mara, Shane?
No.
Like, who signs off on
I don't think either one of them are involved. I think it's the representation for Cam and Abdul Carter. I think it's totally independent of the Giants. Totally. And it should be. They're grown men. But you have to have better judgment.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one more question, guys, and I know Sal kind of said this. Like, let's say they were 8-2 or 7-3 or whatever in a playoff run. He's having a great year. He went out there last night, got shoved, and broke his ankle. Could you imagine what you guys would have started with today? It's just crazy. And this team is sucking my soul, Brandon, sucking my soul. And my 7-year-old, like, I don't know what to do. But the Yankees we'll talk about in the spring, but, like, they're sucking everything I have left out of me.
Yeah.
We'll get to the Yankees later, actually, because it's a big day with Trent Grisham. Decision day. It's 4 p.m.
Come on. Don't sign that, Trent.
A lot of hot stuff we'll get into. Look, the Giants did have that years ago with Plaxico Burress spending a night out shooting himself.
Yep.
Literally shooting himself.
Yes.
And torpedoing the Giants' postseason
Correct.
hopes in the process. So it has happened before. And even that I would advise, well, you want players to go have fun in the nightlife and all that, but I mean, there are certain things you just shouldn't be doing. There's common sense. And I don't, like, this is not going to a club with a gun in your pants, certainly. But it just, when you're hurt, do you think it's a good idea to get involved in any kind of physical nature to a point where you're legitimately getting shoved? You could say it's scripted and fake. That was a real shove. Yeah. And when you get shoved and you get off balance, you don't know what could happen from there when you're dealing with a busted up ankle.
Yeah, and the last time Cam Scadaboo had any real balance was before he got hurt. And, you know, in that moment of, you know, falling backwards a little bit, he's asking, and again, I know that this sounds a little bit too literal or too much for some. That's fine. I stand by it. In that moment when he's falling backwards, you're asking your body to do something it hasn't done in a while. That's dangerous.
Yeah, and protect you on one foot. Either way, let's get one more in.
These Giants.
Nick is in Tom's River. What's up, Nick?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay.
You know, we could talk about... how bad the Giants are, the 2-9, and the optics of all this. You know, but I got to be honest with you. If I'm John Mara this morning, you know, before I'm going to get my health taken care of, I got both those guys in my office and being like, "What is wrong with you? You know, we're 2-9. You almost had a decapitated ankle, and you, who I'm paying for half a sack, who wanted LT's number." you're embarrassing not only the organization, myself. If you guys have any inclination of playing on our team longer, cut it. Stop it.
Not a good look.
Tell you, the Giants have sucked more than my soul. I got to tell you that.
Man, that is a theme.
Wow. And thank you for the call, Nick. That was a pretty good call. And there's been a lot of callers using the term sucking lately.
And soul.
Sucking wind, sucking the soul.
That's true.
All that stuff. And those are things obviously we could say on the air. Yeah, and it all adds up to a point where why we say bad optics is you think the Giant fans, we were sitting next to some people, big sports, like, oh man, this is a huge deal. Can't believe this. People already going nuts online. You think Giant fans who have had it up to here with this team for however many years, especially this year, and all the disappointment and embarrassment and the 2-9 record, you think they want to sit there and watch John Cena's last Monday Night Raw at the Garden and see their guys? First of all, nobody wants to see Abdul Carter, period, yesterday after all that went on. You don't want to see his face. That's how disgusted you are with his performance and his antics. And then see Scadaboo getting shoved. That's why optics does pertain in this particular case.
I got to be honest with you. I don't even want to see Aaron Judge when the Yankees get booted from the playoffs at the Garden.
Good point.
I don't want to see it.
The Ranger game or Knick game?
I think that was a Knick game, so I wouldn't have been watching the Rangers. It was obviously the Knicks. I mean, not that you should ever be booed in that situation. I would never do that, but
at least Booney Booney he hid. He hid from this season result. He went to another country. You got Judge there showing up for front row at the Garden.
Booney came to the St. John's game last year. He's probably saying that's gonna be a little softer landing here. It's not the Knicks, but he got a decent reception. That was after they lost in the World Series. But again, I am of the mindset, you do what you want within the realm of being responsible and not putting your team in a worse spot from either a PR or an optical perspective. And I just think they wildly swung and missed last night. I'm so surprised that Abdul Carter didn't get better advice. Like, it just shows me a lack of awareness.
But they are young kids.
No, I know. That's why I'm not trying to crush them, man. Some of the things I did at their age, my God, that would have been like going to church what they did last night. Some of the things I did. I get it. I understand. But even if Carter's reps didn't go, kind of weigh in, he probably should have had that checkpoint within himself. Like, it's been a rough couple days here. Let me just lay out. He chose not to. I'm not trying to crush them. I'm just saying it's a bad look. And if I'm the Giants' bigger picture, it really does speak to their sloppiness and the circus that the Giants have become.
BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls when we come back. We'll get into the baseball stuff as well a little bit later on. Hey, stop dealing with your neck pain, backache, sciatica, and go see 3 double board certified pain specialists at Samwell Institute for Pain Management. They specialize in headaches, migraines, and nerve pain, and will get you back to feeling yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for pain-relieving solutions. The second time I did that yesterday as well. Same-day appointments available with offices in Colonia, Livingston, and Englewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit SamwellPain.com.
The Scarlet Knights take on the American Eagles. 6:30 tonight on AM 660. The home of Rutgers Big Ten college basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey apps.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on 0 down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out.
At Nielsen, Friday's in the driver's seat.
Black Friday sales event. With approval term 24 months to its signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, add tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
DreamWorks Water Park at American Dream. Just minutes from Manhattan. Over 40 rides, record-breaking slides, and the world's largest indoor wave pool. Tickets start at $59. Book your visit today at AmericanDream.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them. And you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larter, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman. New season. Now streaming. Only on Paramount Plus.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of Internet Past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
FanDuel's the number one sports book for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to threes and dimes. FanDuel is the spot to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all on one easy-to-use, simple app. And right now is a perfect time to join because new customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, simple to navigate, and the best part is when you win, you get paid right away, right in the account. FanDuel, of course, the official sports book of us here at WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Are you fans? It's football season, so make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights gridiron action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights football is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's about time Pros had one partner for every part of the job. Simple ordering, fast delivery, continuous support, all from one partner. The Home Depot delivers supplies on your schedule. Our Pro team helps you plan ahead so projects run smoother. And with Pro Extra benefits, you can simplify ordering, track spending, and save time every step of the way. Because with one partner, you get more than materials, you keep your job moving. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get an impressive offer on a new Mazda CX-5 starting at $28,319 during the More to Move You sales event. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. So Hoff and I were at Raw last night. You were invited, couldn't make it. Okay, so Hoff ended up taking his son. But so I didn't get to watch it on TV, and I'm just watching a clip now that you just retweeted. And one of the guys, not Dom Mysterio, the other dude that was there, was going face to face with Scatterboom and goes, "You guys gonna play defense for the first time this season?"
Oh yes, I read that. And something about championships was said, like, you guys even, something like, you guys know how many, can you even count, or it's been so long? Like,
yeah, let's see if we can hear this. just shoved him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got into a little bit. You guys going to play defense, and they did say something about the win. It's hard to really hear there. You retweeted that video, so I'm sure people have seen it. And then, to be fair, after watching it 15th time here, Cam does the heavy lifting with the push himself.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get pushed. Really, there was more of a scrum, and I think it was kind of a working push, if you could, you know what I'm saying? Like they were.
Well, of course,
but it wasn't like he got pushed back. Now he was getting tossed a little bit around in the scrum to where
Let me ask you this. At that moment, was Cam Scadaboo completely in control of his body? My answer is no, and I watched it again.
No.
Exactly.
No.
All it takes is somebody step on your foot. I mean, I know that this sounds like a reach for some.
Yeah, what's happened to you, BT? You've become such a softie now.
Oh, man.
I can't even partake at a wrestling event, for goodness sake.
I'm 20-year-old kid. Man. Come on. I love wrestling, dude. I just want to see this young man resume his career, and I don't want any setbacks here. Because, all kidding aside for a moment, if there is a setback to Cam Scadaboo, he's got problems next year. Like, when you look at the timeline for his recovery and the prognosis, right? It's pretty favorable, provided there's no setbacks. Like, it's kind of cutting it a little close here. It's not like Cam Scadaboo is going to be doing, squats or sprints in a month or so. He's going to, the clock's ticking to get back for week one. It was dumb. That's all I'm saying.
Also, the one thing that I would say about Scadaboo, and who doesn't love him? He's become, a cult hero, whatever, phenomenon, without even really doing much. He hasn't done much, right? I know we've seen him for how many games. Yeah, he burst onto the scene, but we love his toughness and all that stuff. There's a reason why I believe that he dropped to where he did in the draft. And it's not an inability to stay healthy, but he plays a brand of football that is just, it's dangerous. We love it as fans, but we talk about Jackson Dart being reckless, and I know one's a quarterback, one's a running back, but the idea that you could rely on Cam Scadaboo to be physically healthy throughout a long career, I'm not so sure that that's the case when you play the game the way that he does, and there is no dialing him back because that's what makes him Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, well, and listen, that's why, I don't know if this is a great comparison here, but that's why I didn't get too annoyed when Tommy DeVito and his agent were, selling whether it was sauce or hitting pizzeria. I mean, listen, you get one time to maximize this stage.
That was painfully corny. This was just different. You could be.
I know it was, but my point being, like, I never really thought DeVito was going to be any good, like a relevant, 8 to 10 year NFL quarterback figure. So what I'm saying is make the money while you can, and based on the way Cam plays football, it's similar. It applies to him as well. And when you in terms of going out there and trying to maximize that exposure, and you're in the spotlight here. I get it. I'm trying to be balanced with this, but there's, to your point about how he plays, there's no rules to protect Cam Scadaboo. At least there's rules in place to protect Josh Allen, Jackson Dart, Mahomes, quarterbacks. When you're a running back, I mean, when was the last time you saw a flag thrown helmet to helmet on a linebacker to a running back? Never. Now I got news for you. It happens every single play.
Yeah, the good news is most of the punishing in a Cam Scadaboo collision is coming from Cam Scadaboo, not from the opponent. But still, think about it this way when you go big picture from last night. The WWE wakes up today and they're in heaven seeing all the stuff in New York sports talk about the Giants being there and the attention that they're getting outside of what they would normally get on social media. We led the show with it because it involved the Giants and Cam Scadaboo. So WWE eating that up. What do the Giants get out of it? More embarrassment. Who benefits from a Giants perspective? Not that it's going to do harm to the organization because they've already done as much harm as you possibly can, but who's benefiting? Abdul Carter because you got to see front row John Cena and get involved to get his face on camera a little bit. Cam Scadaboo, same thing. How outside of those guys individually, does this help the New York Giants football brand?
No, it makes it a lot worse. And even if it's unfair to an extent, what it does, it reinforces the belief that many of us have that the Giants have no internal leadership. Whether it's veteran players holding Abdul Carter accountable, whether it's the former head coach, who is obviously no longer here, not holding Abdul Carter accountable, like, it just seems like a very lawless, that's a little strong, but you know what I mean, like a lawless environment. Like the Giants are just kind of drifting at sea, and they're bouncing from this wave to that wave to this wave. The engine's broken. They've got no oars. Like, they're just kind of bouncing around in the night with no real leadership, and that's a problem. And just to show you that I'm consistent with this, and it's not just about piling piling on the Giants because they've been trash for years and they're 2-9 and everybody's going to get fired and they stink. If this was Cam Schlittler, if this was Ben Rice, I'd say the same exact thing.
If they were banged up, you're saying
100%.
Same situation. Yeah,
100%.
Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. Now streaming on Paramount Plus. It's the return of Landman from Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone. Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton is back, featuring Academy Award nominees Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, and Sam Elliott. Landman, new season now, streaming only on Paramount Plus.
So hold on one second. Alf's got a little question.
I do, because I understand the whole side about Scadaboo and Abdul Carter, specifically Scadaboo because he's hurt. But take away the injury aspect of it. Like, what about when, like, the Jets go to an Islanders game and you see them chugging beers and stuff like that on the, at a game and stuff like that? Isn't that somewhat the same idea too? Like they're being a little reckless.
No, as long as they're not driving, just get it. As long as you got that Uber revving up.
They're probably getting intoxicated.
No, it's totally different.
It's not the
so what? They're allowed to drink.
I'm just, but wait,
now
you can't be into a push fight with a fake push fight.
You know it's not the same.
But is it
close?
It was a little bit of a physical thing for a guy who's hurt. No, we wouldn't even be talking about it if he were 100% healthy. It'd be, did you see that? That was pretty cool, Cam Scadaboo there. Nobody would be making an issue about it. The other thing is the other guy he was there with, Abdul Carter, just got in trouble.
Yes.
Just reprimanded by the team. The two guys, Scadaboo could do whatever he wants except get physical because of his injury. Yeah. And Abdul Carter probably should be at least for a week, maybe not.
Just down low, man. Just stop tweeting stuff and just show up and answer the questions like a big boy, which you will. Play better, get an actual full sack, and just kind of keep it moving and redirect the narrative here. Listen, I know there's only one Belichick, and it's so easy to reach for his name. But could you imagine if this happened with the Patriots a couple of years ago when they were still at their even when they were bad, actually, with like Mac Jones at the end of Belichick? Could you imagine that? To me, it's like a blatant disregard for authority, any sort of any awareness for the big picture. It's just and that to me is how the Giants building has been for far too long.
Were there any Jets there last time? We didn't even get word of that, right?
Yeah, they don't want the Jets to get
why not? The Jets have a better record than the Giants, actually. The Jets are what, 2-8? Giants are 2-9.
The Giants are picking second right now on Tankathon. Jets are fifth. That are based on strength of schedule. They both stink. No, I did not see Justin Fields. He would have probably missed him if he shoved him.
John in Philadelphia is on the phone. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. Regarding the Giants, one thing they don't suck at is embarrassing their fan base. Living down here in Philadelphia area now, I can't even go to the bus stop and drop my 11-year-old daughter off without these 11-year-old Eagle fans just picking on me. So the Giants just do an unbelievable job of just embarrassing us. But, BT, you just mentioned it. The Giants, I think, bigger issue right now is internally they do not have a leader that is trying to put together a cohesive unit as a leader, as a team, which I think is spelling just a bigger disaster, which could very well lead to the departure of Joe Shane. So be interesting to see. But, yeah, last night, not a good look. Just embarrassing through and through.
If I'm John Mara, and thank you for the call there, John. Appreciate you, buddy. If I am John Mara, this is the last straw. Everybody get out. I mean, go in your office from Shane to whomever else is below him. Pack your bags and get out. I'm going with somebody who's done this before. Give me McCarthy. At this point, I would even take Nagy. And I was very quick to say no. Yeah. I just need a guy who's done this before. Everybody leave my building. Your time has expired. Get out.
This would be your breaking point, though?
It's the last thing. It's the last sprinkle on top of the bleep Sunday.
If Abdul Carter were there with Scadaboo with no physical altercation, I don't think we'd be making a big deal. We'd probably joke around is that the best look for Abdul Carter showing up with the championship belt, 2-9? You haven't had a sack all year long. You just got reprimanded, whatever. That would be the talk, but it wouldn't be a huge deal. So I don't think the idea of Giants going out to a wrestling event is the problem here, which would then say, that wouldn't be the breaking point to me. I would have fired all these guys a long time ago because they stink on the field. I'm not letting this be the breaking point.
Well, okay. I mean, but it's just like it's the last straw. And by the way, they did go, and they were involved physically in the show. And we can sit here and say, well, if Aaron Judge didn't drop a pop-up in Game 5 against the Dodgers, maybe that would have been better. He dropped the pop-up. If Garrett Cole was covering first base or Rizzo did his job, maybe it's different. Well, the alternate universe is interesting to think about, but you have to react to what actually transpired. One guy got lit up by everybody in the media yesterday, Didn't bother him at all. I'm going out, national TV. And the other guy who's scooting around with one foot in the air because the other foot has been dangling with 9 screws in it, said, yeah, I'm going to push people and get pushed. That tells me they've got, now fear is the wrong word. You're not a 9-year-old kid. But that shows that you have no awareness, of authority, no respect for the greater good. And the more I get into this, like, I kind of wanted to keep it light. And I still do. Again, I'm not trying to be crazy here. But, like, as this goes deeper and deeper and deeper, the more I'm like, no, they were even more wrong than I initially thought. Where's the checkpoint? You're a pro athlete, not a high school athlete. You're a pro.
The more I think about it, the more I'm okay with it because Cam, he just misses physicality, right? The dude, it's like for us, like water, oxygen, he needs physicality to keep going. And then with Abdul Carter, you can't blame him because he just wanted to get his hands on somebody. He hasn't touched an opponent all year long. So at least last night in a scripted venue, maybe we found his calling where he got to put his hands on somebody.
Maybe he could be Danny Davis. He could be a referee at some point. Hey, we all miss certain things that we used to have. You ever miss being single? Maybe, but you don't act on it, do you?
Well.
No, you know the answer to that is no. Let's not push it that far. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. There's all things that we...
Just kidding, for the record.
You know, but I mean, listen,
temptation's a real thing, but you know,
God Almighty, the old bank is good enough.
Speaking of which, there was some good ammo for that last night as well during Raw.
Yeah, who wrestled?
Excuse me, I forget. Hoff, who beat Becky Lynch?
Oh, Becky Lynch lost?
Maxine
won that match?
Yeah.
I was going back and forth. Knicks, football.
Maxine was wearing the green.
I know. She was in the corner. I mean, Maxine won that match?
She won the title. Yeah, I got to show you some pictures that I got firsthand.
Like Hulk Hogan. I thought she was going to run forever.
I'm Cena. Hold on. I got to show you this look because we had
pictures
of that, yes. Look at this one. Hold on. Yeah. There you go. This Maxine, the new women's champion.
That's a sick picture, dude.
Isn't that great?
So she's right in front of you, huh?
Yeah. We were seated by the entrance.
You got to tweet this picture. You got to tweet. Everybody's got to see that. Tweet that. That's awesome.
First of all, I said it to my wife. Hey, look what I was doing last night. Right? We saw a new women's champion be crowned. By the way, we'll have Nattie Neidhart in studio coming up at 1:20. This is a pre-booked spot. She's got a book coming out. Wrestling royalty, obviously, from the Hart family. So looking forward to having...
The Last Hard Beating, I believe it's called. Yep.
We'll get her thoughts on all this from last night. Obviously, go over her career. So we'll have some fun with that coming up at 1:20. Also, some baseball stuff to get into. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but there's an article out from ESPN that has a lot of Mets nuggets in there in free agency in this offseason. So we'll get to that as well.
I'm all over it. A little QO decision here for Trent Grisham. Hopefully, he decides to bounce. I don't want him back. We'll get to that. 888-808-1019. It's funny, though. Looking at that picture that Sal just showed me. We've come a long way since the fabulous Moolah, huh?
You're not kidding.
Think about what we had and think about what our kids have. All right. Who's Hot in Football brought to you by Petro Home Services. Josh Allen is hot as he threw for 317, 3 touchdowns, and he ran for 3 more. He was incredible. Good game. Tampa was actually a winner for most of that. It was a really fun finish. Want to save on heating costs? Go with Petro. Switch now and save $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro. Stay warm. Save this winter. Go to petro.com now and get $125 free heating oil or call 888-PETRO-02 today. If you use propane, ask about our special offers. Propane not available in all areas. All right, time for Sports Minute here. Let's get you the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Make the right choice. Don't drive impaired.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sunday's Commanders-Dolphins game was staged in Bernabeu Stadium. To protect the Bernabeu's natural grass field, the turf can be moved underground via retractable trays. 4 stories below is a greenhouse with UV growth lights plus humidity and temperature controls. How about the NFL insisting on all new stadiums adopting this technology? I'm Boomer Esiason.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa, Sunday morning at 8, right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
8-4 by Term Provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit BigLou.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Head to SNY for all the latest offseason news and rumors.
A very busy and a very important offseason for the Mets.
With insider opinion.
What's your take on the deal?
And exclusive access.
Get it going here with Carlos Mendoza.
On Mets Hot Stove, Wednesdays at 6:30, only on SNY.
Tap Room is your casual gathering place for real food, craft beverages, and every New York game. With 9 Long Island locations, including their newest at Station Yards in Ronkonkoma. It's where you meet friends, make new ones, and never miss the action. Football, hockey, or basketball. Enjoy Sunday game day drink specials, wing night Thursdays, and kids eat free Tuesdays. Tap Room, real food, craft beer, and great company. Find your spot at taproomofny.com.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. We got a lot of baseball stuff to get to. I'm trying to sift through this encyclopedia of an article from ESPN's Jeff Passan here, but there's plenty of stuff that you're going to want to take away from it as it pertains specifically to the Mets. And again, with the Yankees, with Grisham, it sounds like the Yankees want Grisham to accept that offer. If they don't, and I know you don't, so we could get to that at 11. I figure we saved the baseball for 11. There's a lot in there, though, with the Mets and bullpen and possible trades, so we'll do that coming up in about 10 minutes. Let's get some more Giants calls in here, BT. 888-808-1019. John is in Belleville, New Jersey. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. I just want to bring up 2 points, if you let me. The first is on that moron, Abdul Carter. You could show up to a wrestling event on time, awake, but you can't take your job seriously? That's a joke. That's disgusting.
And real quick, John, real quick, certainly let you finish. See, this is what I mean. There are a lot of people like John who work hard, and, I don't know if you go to games, but I'm sure you have Giants merch. If you don't, you would invest some money and a lot of energy and hope and time behind the Giants, and here's a guy who can't show up on time to do his job, but he's on time to do something else. Drive you nuts.
Yeah. And this should be the call of the day. The Giants are running a circus. I love Cam Scatterboo. He shouldn't have been there last night. They're acting like they're going to the playoffs. They're acting like they're a 500 team. This is a disgrace. The Giants are an embarrassment to themselves. Abdul Carter doesn't take his job seriously. I don't think his teammates are particularly fond of him. I mean, what is going on? And he's going to learn real quick how fast Giant fans will turn on him. I think 60% at least of Giant fans have turned on him already. How do you not take your job seriously as a first-round pick? It's disgusting.
Don't know.
How could you? Good call, John. We appreciate that.
Thanks, buddy.
How could we take him seriously when he doesn't perform to the levels that he's done? There have been repeated issues here with Abdul Carter. Is it the worst thing in the world that you asked for Lawrence Taylor's number? No, but it shows a lack of awareness and also a mindset that this guy thinks that he's just going to walk in and be given greatness. Mm-hmm. No. You got to earn that here. I don't know if that goes on at Penn State or wherever else you were in your life or other areas. Not here. So the fact that you would come in and have the balls to ask for any number, in particular, the number, as it pertains to the New York Football Giants, and then go out there and get trucked in the preseason and respond the way that you did, like a softie, and then perform the way that you have throughout the entire course of the season, where your best attribute is getting near a quarterback, and then to be missing the walkthroughs and falling asleep or whatever it may be repeatedly, and then showing up on TV with the championship belt when your team's 2-0. I personally would be embarrassed of what was out there and would make sure that I've done everything I could to fix the perception of me, knowing that those things are all real things in year number one.
And after yesterday, for me, it would have started by not going to Monday Night Raw and being involved in that. And you left off one thing. The reason why the Giants lose all these games is because of the defense. It's like, it's funny, too. When he asked for Lawrence's number, I kind of took it. I'm like, that's all right. It's definitely a little brazen. I'm like, that's a massive set of stones. Like, you don't ask for 56 unless you know you are the man. So I'm sitting here saying, all right, now I wanted the Giants to draft him. I thought he was going to be the rookie of the defensive rookie of the year. I thought we were going to have all these accolades. I thought he was going to be a game breaker from week one. So it obviously hasn't worked out. And that's, listen, as a rookie, there's learning periods. I get it. Okay. But to me, what's even more worrisome, and I think on some level, Sal, even more indefensible about the Giants culture, is that none of the Giant veterans deemed it important enough to check him. Did you see what Deion Dawkins said?
No.
Yesterday?
No,
we got to play this at some point. About, who was it? Was it Coleman? One of their receivers for the Eagles who got benched, and not for a series, was a healthy scratch the other night, okay? And Dawkins was at his locker and he said, we're men here. Like, it's basically time to stop being a boy is over. We're tired of his antics. He's got to grow up.
You're talking about the Bills. Deion Dawkins.
What did I say?
You said the Eagles. Deion Dawkins
Dion Dub for the Bills.
Hoff, you can look that up and get the soundbite. We can play that.
He's pretty outspoken. He said some stuff about the Jets back in the day.
I remember.
Yeah, he's the guy who likes to open up his mouth.
Said he needs to grow up. I'm just reading some of the stuff here. I didn't see that.
I love it. I mean, it was a very good characterization and reminder and reinforcement of the rules. Whereas with the Giants, not only does nobody check him, but nobody even woke the kid up. So there's the stuff with Carter himself, which is a little worrisome. But the bigger issue is Giants have no leaders, none.
Corey is calling from Massapequa Park. What's up, Corey?
Hey, good morning, boys. How you doing?
Hey, Corey. What's happening, buddy? We're good.
Hey, 2 points. I have a comment on officiating at the end if we have time, just regarding this whole situation. Listen, I know I'm a minority here. I don't hate the whole what occurred with the WWE thing. For me, you had Andrew Schultz there, a true New Yorker comedian. I feel like there is this kind of new age or this kind of young energy that a night like last night brings up. Now, I get, let's not have Cam in the front row, okay? Like, I get that, right, with his ankle and surgically repaired. I went to college in Massachusetts. I saw all 4 of those sports teams win. I love when I see other athletes going to other games, rooting for each other. I know this wasn't a sporting event, but I feel like there is something about the city and the culture and a little bit of a different energy with a night like last night.
I don't think, Corey, I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. I think that's a very fair assertion. And you don't even have to be winning to go to these other games and support the other teams. Just don't be pushing. And don't be getting pushed. That's it. If it came out, Cam was there and he was, 7 rows back or he was in a suite, fantastic. Have a fun night.
Yeah, I don't think the issue is going to the event. I think it's being in a physical skit or whatever you want to call it with the injury. The Abdul Carter thing is just bad opt. Of all the Giants to go to this thing, Abdul Carter is the last Giant that any Giant fan wants to see doing anything other than sacking the quarterback. He's the last guy. You're sitting back and watching Monday Night Raw if that's your thing, or you're waking up reading social media trying to get the news and you see this. The last thing any Giant fan wants to see is Abdul Carter's face right now. The guy who reportedly fell asleep and missed a walkthrough. The guy who had to sit out a series for discipline because he's been acting a fool dating back to when Brian Dable was a head coach for weeks and Kafka finally had the balls to at least do something about it, even if it is in a limited role. Nobody wants to see Abdul Carter's face right now other than on the football field trying to get to a quarterback. And then you see him there holding up the championship belt as the Giants are 2-9 and he's messing around with John Cena and Monday Night Raw pushing Dominic Mysterio.
2-9 with the belt. I mean that is priceless. You can't make that up. That is
punked by the
where's
wrestlers.
The self-awareness, man.
The wrestler is saying, "You guys going to stop anybody this year on defense? You're going to play now. Now you're going to start playing defense." And these guys are like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's funny." Oh, you saw the Denver game too?
Man, you can blow another lead, buddy. Hey, you're gonna get. Imagine if he said you're going to get a full sack. I mean, why'd they stop there? There was more material.
They probably didn't know.
I hear you. God, that's just the more you think about it, it's just sloppy.
I mean, they might not have even known who he was, honestly.
Because
he did go to Scatterbo and was saying about the defense. He has no idea.
Well, that's even worse because if he doesn't really know who Cam Scatterbo is, and he might not, then he definitely doesn't know the severity of the injury, which means he probably didn't hold back on the push.
Oh, God. I honestly would never think that we'd be talking about this. You're going to love this article. I'm trying to sift through it.
Get some baseball going. Let's go.
We'll do some baseball hot stuff. We'll continue with the Giants stuff and Cam Scatterbo, of course. We'll do some baseball hot stuff when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Regular season battles in football. Off-season moves in baseball. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets all live here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 12/1/25.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Hey, shh.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That fun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit FlushingBank.com today. Member FDIC.
Talk sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11:02. I'm Chris Lopresti. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Also sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Living in New York is not a spectator sport. Don't let pain keep you on the sidelines. Get back to what moves you with Motion's expert physical therapist. Most insurance is accepted. Schedule an appointment at motionptg.com today. We're also sponsored by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Well, updated story and quotes from Giants rookie Abdul Carter posted by ESPN's Adam Schefter within the last hour. So Carter this morning vehemently denying the sleeping through a walkthrough practice last week. He reiterated he was getting treatment at the time of the walkthrough, ultimately led to him being benched for the first series of Sunday's loss to the Packers. Carter says interim head coach Mike Kafka changed the normal practice times. He didn't realize the change was made until he was in treatment at the time he was used to, and then it was too late. Quote, my mistake was an honest mistake. I own the fact that it was an honest mistake. I was getting treatment, and I told Coach Kafka that too, but to say I was sleeping at that time just wasn't true, and it also wasn't a trend. This was the only time it happened.
I just got a DM about 20 minutes ago from somebody who is deeply entrenched on the Giant beat. And it says the Giants confirmed the Carter story, him sleeping through the meeting.
Yes.
So I'm going to trust the guy that I've always trusted, and I'm going to tell the young man to stop talking and to start doing, and let this thing go away because you're making it worse, Abdul Carter.
Through the meeting or through the walkthrough?
Meeting.
So he slept through a meeting. That's confirmed.
That's what
okay. Yeah,
and
right, because I'm confused.
Meeting or walkthrough, I'm not sure which.
But then there's another walkthrough.
There is another walkthrough. Yep.
And that there were repeated offenses here.
Right. So
he's got to clean it up.
Repeated offenses with the meeting. Apparently, the walkthrough was a one-time thing. Just to clean it up. No, he's fine. Fully exonerated.
Well, we'll see what happens when they get back to the facility and the rest of the media
by the way, CeeLo.
Congregates. Yes, it's good to be here.
Missed you yesterday,
good to see you guys.
In a good way. I mean that.
I appreciate that. Trust me, I was missing everybody else as well. The Knicks are still searching for their first road win of the season after losing in Miami last night. The Nets are winless at home. They will host the Celtics this evening. We got 7:20 coverage on WFAN FM. AM dial. Rutgers hoops home for American University with coverage underway at 6:15. Fan weather sponsored by Flushing Bank. 44 degrees. Mostly sunny skies in Central Park. And with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lepresti.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. We'll continue with your frustrated Giants calls, 888-808-1019. Or we could hear from you if you didn't have a problem with the Giants showing up last night at Monday Night Raw and Cam getting involved, Cam Scadable getting involved in a little physical altercation. Remember, Nattie Neidhart in studio. We'll have some fun with her coming up at 1:20, get her perspective on all this, and also talk about her life in the wrestling ring with her new book out, The Last Heart Beating. So there is speaking of books, I mean, Jeff Passan, you got to see this. The article here, BT, it goes over everything. Obviously, I don't have enough time to read it throughout the course of the show. We were doing a show, but I'm getting a little bit of the cliff notes from it that it pertains to us. Okay, so the first little note, as of now, Jeff Passan of ESPN, you got to check out his article. It is on ESPN.com, Passan's MLB offseason preview, every signing or trade that he could see this winter.
He'll get 90% wrong. Keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't mean it's gospel, but you have to admit, Passan, for what he does is as good as anybody out there.
I would agree.
Okay.
He's a little dry for me, a little boring for me style-wise.
That's a different story. I'm talking about
great info.
I'm talking about the information. Yep. First and foremost, both as of now, according to Passan in this article, the Mets and Yankees are both in on Kyle Tucker.
Wow. Okay.
As of now.
That's a little interesting to me.
I mean, if you want me to read you the exact thing, again, this is a huge, I'll just read you. It wasn't a big thing, but just saying as of now.
Okay.
He also references the Mets potentially stealing away Schwarber from the Phillies. But again, nothing concrete there.
Real quick on the Tucker thing, you'd have to almost, while my reaction was that of surprise, I don't think he'll be a Yankee, nor do I think he'll be a Met, but I guess you've got to do your due diligence in the event that the Yankees lose Baldinger and maybe he goes to the Dodgers and the Mets don't get Baldinger. You got to at least throw a line in the water with Tucker's reps to let them know, hey, we're here, we're kind of interested. So
I'm gonna read I'll read you the paragraph here. Though Tucker makes sense for a Dodgers team in need of a productive outfield bat, sources said their interest is more likely to be on a high-dollar, shorter-term deal. Well, if that's the case, then you would think Tucker's not going to do that. Anyway, top free agents, particularly those Tucker's age at 29, rarely sacrifice years for dollars. Okay, he's confirming what I'm saying here. Tucker's desire, here we go. So he calls the Dodgers a longer shot. Tucker's desire to win will be a guiding principle, keeping the Yankees and Mets, despite the presence of their MVP caliber right fielders, Judge and Soto, in the mix for the time being.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, so
there you go.
There's at least a lot
decent
there.
News to start.
Now some of the more intriguing stuff. This is what I found fascinating here. The Mets are in on Devin Williams. And they also are trying to pair him with Diaz. Quote, Williams has suitors from coast to coast, though the Mets are mulling the opportunity to sign Diaz and Williams to head up a bullpen in need of a total restructure.
What's your first reaction? I want some pitch for my team. You like it?
I want him.
Have him in the eighth inning?
The thing about, I said this before, I don't think he's a good fit for the Yankees, although if they brought him back, I wouldn't go nuts about it. I think he's a better fit for the Mets, and I respect what Williams did in New York in year one because he dealt with almost all of it. He was given the opportunity right from the get-go, lost the opportunity, worked his way back, got it again, faltered a little bit, but was able to right the ship and handle adversity in New York in real time, going through it on the mound. So, and I would expect to bounce back here. Again, bullpens are fickle. I'm not overpaying for him, but the idea of a Diaz-Williams bullpen, yeah, I'd sign me up for
You
that.
should, and don't forget as you know, the familiarity. Stearns Brewers obviously knows his makeup, knows what he's all about there. He's proven that, you're right, he can battle back from, some rough stuff in the New York market. Wouldn't be bad for the Mets. I don't need him back on the Yankees, but I would take him in the 8th inning in setting up Bednar and setting up Diaz. Yeah, that's good for the Mets.
I will say my gut feel, and sometimes you think of these things at weird times. I'm just showering, giving thought to what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I think Diaz is coming back. I don't think there's any way the Mets lose Diaz. I think he, push comes to shove, wants to be here, and I think the Mets are going to give him at least close to what he wants, if not what he wants. I don't think Diaz, it's just the trumpets, the whole thing, whether I think that's nonsense or not, I don't see. I could see P leaving. I don't see Diaz leaving the Mets. I don't think he goes.
What about the insurance? And I've always said, by the way, that I think one of the two is gone, and I think there's more of a chance that Pete is gone. I've thrown out the Red Sox. We'll get to that, I'm sure, as well. What about the thought you sign Williams with the intention to pair him up with Diaz, but if Diaz bounces or bolts, well, now you got Devin Williams to step in.
I mean, I wouldn't want Diaz I wouldn't want him as my closer. I don't think it's a bad thought. I think the idea of pairing them is where would get me excited. The idea of Williams being your primary closer, that doesn't. I'm less excited about that.
As you should be.
I could survive that. Put it this way: if the Mets went and traded for Skubal and signed Baldinger and brought back Alonso, would I be okay with Williams being... And they signed Ranger Suarez, would I be okay with Williams?
You better be.
I'm just saying, yes, if he's replacing Diaz in that regard, I don't think that they're going to make all those moves, so I would want Williams back in addition to Diaz. And I just, for whatever reason, and this is not based on any insight or intel whatsoever, sometimes they'll give you opinion based on that, and I wouldn't say it. This is just a total gut feel, sifting through some things and doing a little comments. I would be shocked if Diaz left the Mets. All right, couple more here. There's probably a lot more. I don't even see any Pete notes as of yet, but there are. He goes over every player. This is a big quote here, though. The Mets are blowing up plenty. It's not just Luis Angel Acuna or Mark Vientos or Brett Beatty, meaning those are the guys that we always talk about they got to get rid of. He references Nimmo and Jeff McNeil that they can also be had. So think about that. The Mets are making Acuna, Vientos, Beatty, Nimmo, McNeil, all available, as they should. It doesn't mean all are going to get traded, but that's the type of mess that I want to see be cleaned up. In addition, Kodai Senga as well, he is, quote, extremely available, and multiple executives expect him to be traded this winter as the Mets look to overhaul their rotation.
See, the Mets aren't at the point where you come in and you throw some nice expensive doorknobs on and, maybe you throw a little, aesthetical pops here and there, a nice little painting. Like, they're not a finished product. I mean, to me, the Mets need to level the foundation of the home. Now, if you do that, the good thing is that you've got, whether it's McClain, obviously a Soto, a good young system, and a lot of money, and desires to get Skubal and others, like, it could be built up to a beautiful home fast, but if they just tweak and just kind of rearrange them, Mets aren't going to win. Like, they have to do this.
I'm just trying to read through this in real time. Okay, he goes over the Boris 3. This is really a great article. I mean, if you care about anything baseball and information, Jeff Passan has you covered on this baseball article for ESPN here. And it's going to take some time to read it, so bear with us here. It goes over the Boris 3, Bregman, Alonso, Baldinger. The Yankees would like a return engagement with Baldinger, particularly if Trent Grisham rejects a qualifying offer. We'll know today. The Blue Jays see him as a perfectly good alternative to Tucker. So the Blue Jays are going to be on Tucker. If not, then they're going to go after Baldinger. The Dodgers, who non-tendered Baldinger 3 years ago, have expressed interest as they pursue the outfield market. Red Sox love Bregman. Alonso's willingness to play designated hitter offers the sorts of avenues for a first base only mindset wouldn't. So that's going to keep things open. Quote, he could stay with the Mets, move up to Boston, bring Cincinnati, the big bat it desperately needs, or potentially Baltimore. Those are the teams that he references, saying for all three, the expectation of a big dollar deal is high. How quickly they materialize will shape the winter ahead. So, I mean...
Well, and think about the sale. It's, November 18th? I mean, obviously he signed in February, but November 18th, I mean, outside of the Mets, was anybody connected to Pete? We didn't get Toronto till later in the winter, right?
Right.
So now we're throwing 4 teams around. I think...
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think there's a really good chance he's going to be with Boston. but I really think it all.
Can they get Pete and Bregman?
Well, that's where I was going to go. Like,
they should.
I'm going there. Like, I was reading some stuff and I heard some clips from some of the Boston, radio shows yesterday. Like, there's a thought, and I was subscribing to this as well. If they don't get Bregman, well, then obviously it really opens up a door for Pete. You got rid of the Devers money. They've got a window with a lot of young, cheap, interesting players. And we saw against the Yankees, they needed an infusion of pop here. Their lineup is pretty thin, and Pete would be perfect playing at Fenway. But it's the Red Sox, dude. We're talking about like it's the Pirates. You should be able to go Bregman and Pete Alonso. It doesn't seem like they're willing to do that. Now, if Bregman, if we wake up in 3 weeks or a month and Bregman 5 years, whatever with the Red Sox, then I think Pete returns to the Mets. If we wake up and it's Bregman 5 years with whomever and it's not the Red Sox, then I think Pete goes to Boston.
This is such a big article here. Do we have like an intern who could just give me cliff notes? I can't read this whole thing.
Barely anybody to even cut up the tape.
And if we did have an intern, would you trust him to read the article and come up with the right stuff? Him or her?
I like to read stuff for myself.
Yeah,
now, you can cut up the tape, and I'll trust you there, but I got to read my own stuff.
Well, because
unless you're reading it, which I'm listening to.
I'll give you one more here. Going over the top-end free agent starters. Framber Valdez, Dylan Cease, Tatsuya Amai. We've heard about him. Interest in the, from the Mets, Yankees. Considering the wide swath of teams prioritizing starting arms, the Mets, Cubs, Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays are all playing in the top-of-the-market sandbox. So, I mean, at least that's encouraging from a Mets fan perspective. Not that we didn't expect this, but there's thought that David Stern just doesn't like the high-end starting pitching, especially free agency.
Mm-hmm.
The Mets are playing the high-end sandbox as they should.
Yeah, absolutely. Uncle Stevie's got a little company in that sandbox here. Better to dust off the checkbook, which he's certainly going to do. I would imagine, like he did a year ago.
And it's a matter of getting the right one. It's not just playing in the sandbox. You got to make sure you pick the right one there.
Right, let's get the Grisham stuff out of the way. I'm just praying he doesn't resign with the Yankees. Now, I really am. I'm dead serious. The more I think about Trent, I want nothing to do with Trent Grisham, who before last year was basically a 200 hitter with a sub-700 OPS. Now, I know not everybody gets excited about defensive metrics, but 34 home runs, perfect fit, perfect Yankee, he fits well. Dude, I don't envision him. First of all, he's not a leadoff hitter, and you said when this came up a month or so ago, put him 7th. I don't even want him 7th. I want Trent Grisham to bounce. My prediction, he's not going to sign this qualifying offer, which I believe will be great for the Yankees. And I think he's going to get 4 years between 60 and 70 from somebody. Because if you're Grisham, sure, you made $5 million a year ago, so a $22 million qualifying offer is very good, but there's a good chance there's no baseball next year. So don't you think about that. If he takes the 1 year 22.
Then he's going to have to set out another year.
Exactly. You want to bank whether it's 50, 60, 70 over 3 or 4 years, which he's going to get as a center fielder. Granted, is a little slippage defensively. Somebody's going to overpay for him. I think the Yankees think he's back.
I'm sorry, BT.
It's all good.
I think the Yankees made that decision hoping, if not knowing, that he was going to turn it down.
And or insurance for Baldinger, but we won't know about Baldinger before the decision's got to be rendered.
It's just a smart move for the Yankees saying, okay, well, worst case scenario, we get him back at a cost that we think is good to have a valuable center fielder. They could always trade him.
Yeah, they could trade him.
If they needed to. But also doing it with the idea he's probably not going to take it, and why wouldn't we want the draft pick? The risk from the Yankees' perspective is, you were upset when they offered him the qualifying offer.
Yes.
Because you're like, I don't want this guy back at $20 million a year.
Well, let me tell you the reason why I was upset, because I spoke to somebody with the Yankees, and they really didn't know what they were going to do. They didn't know if they wanted to.
Right. So, but why did that make you upset?
Because then when they did it, the fears, not the fears, that's strong. The reluctance on their end that was communicated to me, once they offered him, was offset. I didn't want him. I thought, based on the conversation, that there was more a lack of interest than an absolute interest. So when they did it, I'm like, it doesn't jive, more importantly, with what I'm thinking, and it didn't seem to jive with what was initially presented to me.
Who did this, Hop?
What is this?
We got Cliff Notes here.
Whoa.
Who did it?
I did.
You did this? Wait a second. And Hop, you got to come on the air and explain. How did you do this? You read the passing article?
No, it's got to be AI
you had some kind of you had some kind of cheat sheet here. This is Cliff Notes. This is great. This is what we need.
This is what Tommy does for the afternoon show.
First of all, Tommy is not that smart to do what I did. But yes, I did go to AI.
Oh, come on. This is an AI
I told you it was AI. Yeah, it's Cliff Notes. It's
I
AI
took the
Cliff
whole
Notes.
article and I put it in there.
There you go.
Well, so you had access to the article. I think it's a pay thing, is it not? Or no?
I don't know.
Okay, but either way, you had access to the
I
article?
had access to the article.
Well,
I copied
how
it.
then don't you know if it's pay or free?
I've just been logged in. All my accounts are logged in here, so maybe I still have access to it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Anyway,
yes, I do.
so you took the whole article, copy paste.
Yes.
Put it into AI.
And to Gemini was the one I used.
Okay,
yes.
whatever.
And you said what? Condenses to the most pertinent material? How do you actually do that?
I said, give me all the Mets and Yankees bullet points.
Give me the good stuff.
That's all I said.
And it comes out with this?
Look at this. This is sick.
Can I tell you? 10 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
See, I'm fumbling around here for 10 minutes trying to sift through an encyclopedia from Jeff Passan. You get 10 seconds, you print out the bullet points?
I didn't know you wanted it. I thought you had it open.
You didn't know I wanted it. I
thought you had it all prepared. I understand. I thought you had it all. You've been teasing this for an hour.
Now,
I thought you had it all prepared.
The one thing you would notice, BT, I can't do Cliff Notes like AI in 10 seconds.
We're doomed to society. I mean, you're really big picture. Oh, God. Go
I
ahead.
know. The one thing you would notice is this sheet is dominated by Mets news and notes.
Well, because the Mets have more to do.
Yeah,
So
I'm just saying.
It should be.
That's what we were saying before, kind of the notes that came in.
Now, hold on, though. I got to
yeah.
finish my thought on Grisham
Yeah,
here.
I'm sorry.
All right?
Go ahead.
That's all good. So, number one, I think he's vastly overrated. The defense worries me. I don't think he'll replicate in 2026 what he did last year. So you're paying a premium for a guy who's not that guy. That's just my opinion. But the other thing, I don't think it would preclude them from also paying for Baldinger. It better not. I mean, how? And it won't, so I'm not even going to go nuts. It won't, but if it did, I'd go nuts. But there's still the Baldinger element. And listen, we can sit here and say, well, Dominguez and Jones, I want an answer on these players. If Grisham comes back, and Baldinger, who I believe will, Belly's in left and Judge in right, here we go again, the same song and dance. Unless you trade Dominguez and Jones or whatever, for a schoolboy, well, that's different. And maybe they had that up their sleeve. But Grisham, number one, is not as good as people think. And he complicates the future that I'm willing to roll the dice on a little bit. I want to see Dominguez play a little bit more. I do. Now, he might be... I don't think he'll ever be overwhelmed because there was enough evidence that he can at least hang. Now, and I'm not saying he's going to be a star, but I'd like to get more of an answer. I mean, you can't keep kicking him down the road.
Well,
Grisham, get out of
here. Why can't Grisham had a big year? Why can't Dominguez play in the minors until you find out what he is?
Well, I think he's past that. Not that
is he?
Yeah. I mean, he had 20-something steals. It's not like he hit 210. He had a pretty decent year.
But BT, that's the problem. That's the problem.
What?
That's where we fundamentally disagree. You're accepting less than what he was supposed to be. I'm saying I want to get him fully acclimated in the minors. We don't know what position he can play. He can't actually. He's not.
They're not going to put him in center.
Okay.
Much to my chagrin, but it just seems like they're not going to do that. So I got to get over it.
Why do you think they're not going to do that?
Well, I mean, they don't think that he could play center, obviously.
And he could barely play left field. So the idea of him playing center, my point is he doesn't have a position. Well, maybe that's something he can get better at in the minor leagues, just like maybe he can get better at, when you say send him down to the minors, it's like, oh, how dare you consider sending the Martian down to the minors?
I don't take it like that.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying you specifically, I'm saying there's a thought, like when you send anybody down.
Disrespectful.
To anybody. The Mets send Alvarez down because he wasn't cutting it.
Or even the Volpe conversation we had a year ago.
It's the same thing. I would want to send them down, guess what? To get them better.
Yeah.
So when you bring them up here, you slot them in and away we go. Not let's see what they are at the big league level while you're trying to win a World Series. This isn't Pittsburgh.
Believe it or not, I'm not that fundamentally opposed to what you think. I just don't believe that what he needs to get better at is going to be really properly addressed in the minors. I mean, there's a way to attack the outfield. Sure, you want to see the ball off the bat in game situations, but you could replicate some pregame stuff and slice the ball the way they hit Fungos. You could get a sense of if he could at least play left field a little bit on a slightly better than rudimentary level. And I'm intrigued by his speed. He's the fastest guy on the team, and I do think there's some blossoming power. Again, I don't know if he's even here. He could be dealt for Quan, which I'd love. I don't know if he's here. I don't know if he's going to fizzle out. I do think there's another level beyond, what we saw last year. But I'm going to stop there. Not 2 levels, not 3, not 4, not superstar, not Martian. I never call him that. You know that. I just want an answer. And if Grisham is here, I don't get my answer. That's all I'm saying. I want an answer.
The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
All right, Sal, let me tell you about my friends over at FanDuel, the #1 sports book for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to dimes and everything else you want an NBA game. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line. Knicks bothered me later. We got to get into the Knicks a little bit later. Bothered me. I know no Brunson, no OG. I get it, but cat flailing away and rough night. Anyway, it's all on one easy-to-use app, and right now it's a great time to join in because new customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet the players you love the way you want. Head over to FanDuel.com/BT and sign up today. FanDuel.com/BT. Of course, the official betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. I've been telling you about it for a long time. It is safe and secure. Here's the best part. When you win, the money's there. Well, no wondering where the money is. As soon as you win, it goes right in the account. And let's face it, that's what you need. FanDuel's the official sports book also of us here at The Fan. Must be 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Boston is in Brooklyn playing the Nets. 7:30 tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to EdisonHVAC.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of internet past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet. That's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example: 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per 1,000 financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
Sun and clouds with a high around 47.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning. When I say insurance, you say financial services. Insurance.
Financial services.
Insurance.
Financial services.
Now when I say nationwide, you say is both. Nationwide.
Is both.
Nationwide.
Is both.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This holiday season, find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. From Volvo Cars Ramsey, 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 plus all-wheel drive, $583 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for details. MSRP $57,145. VIN 1292363. Loaner vehicle 4,210 miles, $3,700 down payment. Tax title registration extra. Zero security deposit. Ends 11/30/25.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. We'll get back to your calls here. Talking Giants, talking baseball hot stove. This article is going to blow up throughout the course of the day, and everybody's going to be talking about it because there's a lot of rumors and rumblings, especially here as it pertains to both the Mets and the Yankees. 888-808-1019.
Yeah, and along those lines, whether it's maybe stealing Schwarber or the Alonso stuff or being open to trading Nimmo or going out and getting pitchers, maybe Devin Williams and Kyle Tucker and maybe trading Senga, there is a lot of meat on this bone. We'll get back to the calls. I don't know if there's a chance that this is like one of these, tricked up accounts, whatever. But I've heard enough about this where even if it isn't real, it's not out of bounds to ask the question. All right. Now, I don't remember there not being like these little barriers or these little partitions at the urinals at Citi Field. I don't remember. And I've been to Citi Field at least since it opened, probably 20 times all these years, right? And I don't care. Like, I got to go to the bathroom. I don't care who's next to me. I don't care how much room I have. I don't care if there's 15 people behind me. I got to go. I unzip. I go. Are these partitions that big of a deal? Why is everybody complaining about this?
This sounds like a 3-yard queue. You should have saved this one for tomorrow.
I should have, but it's newsworthy, provided I didn't get bull-sacked on this Twitter account.
Who's complaining about?
Everybody's complaining about this.
I have not heard.
Right?
Well, here's the deal, right? So they redid all the bathrooms at Citi Field, and they look all beautiful and whatnot. And basically,
when you talking about recently, or
no? When they made Citi Field, they made these beautiful, gorgeous.
And there
bathrooms.
there are no partitions.
Right, and they basically look like you're going into like a cone that's upside down. That's how you're going to the restroom.
Yeah.
But there's no dividers, there's no spacers, there's no nothing. So it's like that to me is like step one. When you build the bathroom, you got to build the dividers.
Oh, so you want the divider?
Well, I mean, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a divider person.
You don't get stage fright if there's no divider.
Fright, but it's more just like if I got three. Listen,
I don't want anybody looking at my business.
It's not even that, dude.
It's not even that. It's all that.
That's what it's all about. If you want one.
Yeah, but
what do you mean it's not about that?
My issue is, yes, dude. Hold on. When you have a packed house and you got 20 stalls or urinals or whatever, and you got 20 dudes elbow to elbow, going in a restroom.
Splashing around.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Get a little something going on.
Have you ever gone to, I forget if they have it at Fenway, but it's definitely at Wrigley.
This is the one I will draw the line. Now, I went. That's the worst. It's
Wrigley
like the communal circus or circle.
Yeah, it's one
I
just
don't like
big
that
bucket
much.
of go do your thing.
But
it's basically the same thing. This is just like the next step up. This is just a much cleaner, fancier version of a trough when you have no partition.
That's what I'm looking for. No, I'm not not saying that it's not cleaner, whether it's it pops a little more, nice little tile, but it seemed like a lot of people weren't about the germs. It was more about the lack of being able to do what they have to do with some privacy. And that just never bothered me. Like, I was at MetLife the other day. Just go to the bathroom. I don't care if there's 150 people out the door. I don't care who's next to me. I got to go.
Yeah, I need privacy myself. I'm more of a... Now, if you ask me, would I rather Steve Cohen spend... How much do you think it would cost to put all those partitions up?
Nothing. You can reach into his pocket, get the lint, and pay for it with whatever else is in his pocket.
Would I rather the partitions be put up throughout the course of Citi Field, or the Mets go out there and be big spenders in free agency? I'll deal with using the bathrooms the way that they are right now. I'd rather have the team be built better.
Okay, now I will tell you, though, the one time that I wish there was a partition, and I may have mentioned this a long time ago, was when I was in Vegas, and I'm at a urinal, and there's no barrier. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, somebody's clothes kind of like leaning over to me. So I look over, and it's Rodman. And I gotta look. And I felt
that's what I mean.
I felt very small. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, that was actually scarring.
BT and Sal, the fan, 888. Yeah, much like this conversation now. BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-1019. We have the list of free agent stuff. We also have some Abdul Carter stuff to get to. But Brian in Manalapan wants to chime in, BT. Maybe he could help you out here. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, guys, I can't believe I'm actually calling about this topic, but I'm a PSL holder for the Giants, and MetLife Stadium does not have dividers in that billion-dollar monstrosity that's over there. And I think it's terrible, especially when you have kids going to the bathroom. There needs to be a divider up at those urinals, especially when you're spending that kind of money to go to the bathroom there. I'd love to challenge Giants and Jets management to go to the bathroom during halftime or during the game to see what it's like for them.
Yeah, I just don't like... I'm sorry, go ahead there.
I was going to say the kids is a different element. That I would agree with, but okay, all right.
Well,
I got you.
Don't kids go in the stall?
No, I mean, Colt goes to the urinal.
All right, but those
sometimes they have the bigger ones, smaller ones.
Now, I just don't understand where this is coming from. I have not seen this is on social media right now.
I've seen this for years. Oh yeah, and by the way, Citi Field's not the only one where you've heard a common complaint about.
So is this coming from your experience at MetLife recently? I'm curious why.
No, because I've heard about it for a couple of years. I saw an article where I thought the Mets committed to putting barriers up. Admittedly, I may have been ball sacked. I thought it was interesting to throw out there for 3-4 minutes, and it doesn't seem you don't want to do the bit. I think Hop is willing to do the bit. Come on, Sal, lean in.
I think we did do the bit. I just think the timing of the bit is odd, is what I meant.
There was something yesterday. Someone was trolling around like David Stern's Twitter account, but he doesn't have one. But basically being like, hey, guys, don't worry about it. It took care of all your needs. We've installed the barrier.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. He goes, them Met fans, we appreciate the passion. You spoke, we listened. Urinal dividers will be installed across the ballpark for the 2026 season. We hope Citi Field is a better experience for everybody.
So that's where it came from.
Yeah, of course.
But that's not legit?
No, that's not legit.
No, it's a fake account.
That's all I was asking. I'm like, what the hell made you come up with this now?
Where did I pull it out? I didn't pull it out of left field, and I know that's one of those fictitious accounts or whatever, but Met fans have complained about that. And by the way, Yankee fans too. MetLife. The guy just called up. He wants dividers.
We've definitely had this conversation before because it has been an issue. The first time I walked into the bathroom at Citi Field, beautiful blue and orange floor and the different design that they have in there. And then I'm like, wait a second. Where are the dividers here? This is a problem. I don't want to be... They have it at the Garden as well. Although, no, Garden actually might have dividers now that I think about it. But it is certainly...
Garden has dividers, trust me. I'm very versed in this recently. Especially when I take my kid around, too. Because, again, like the kid...
A little different with the kids. I do admit that.
And we had an issue. Hoff had an issue last night with his kid. We go into Raw. The guy's taking us to our seats. We're walking through, the suite.
Barely walked in.
We barely get in. Beautiful section, the suites. And I'm like, oh, man, this is great. I've never even seen this area. His son gets a bloody nose.
And he does get that comment.
And he's like, I'm sorry, guys. So then the guy who was taking us to our seats had to take other people. Then I had to wait. We had to wait for, he had to go, clean Anthony up. No, that's what he was saying. He was saying sorry. Everybody understood. But it was just,
man. How long did it take for Ant to recover?
About 5 minutes. It wasn't bad.
5 minutes. Did Cam Scadaboo pop him? I mean, he gets it that frequently, huh?
It was cold out. Maybe
he gets that. Yeah,
he was playing basketball for an hour. We left right from there to go down to the city. So maybe the weather. I don't know.
And then I don't know how it happened. I'm going to blame Hoff. I think somehow a piece of gum got loose. I ended up sitting on gum.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful, dude.
Did you get it off your pants?
No. How do you get gum off your pants? notes.
His left side was just a line of blue gum.
No, and like when you stood up, did it like stretch like the accordion where you get like a spider web of gum?
What the hell is this? And I go to feel it. I'm like, oh no.
Then you got to touch the gum.
Yeah, I did. It was a mess. I touched the best that I could.
You guys are a mess. Bloody nose, gum on your ass.
All right,
where the hell were you?
BT and Sal, the fan. What a mess. 888-808-1019 is the number to call.
Do I have a little read here? I believe I do. Yeah, let me tell you about my friends over at Cash App, right? Cash App is built for the city, guys. If you got built-in security that's rock solid, Face ID, scam warnings, 24/7 chat support. Basically, it's like having a bodyguard for your money. So we all know we work hard, so you don't want to let the money or anything else really slip through the cracks here. All you got to do is download the Cash App today. Use code WFAN10 and send $5 to a buddy. And within 14 days, Cash App will ship 10 back to your account. Hook a buddy up with 5, they hook you up with 10. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App's a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit card issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
Over and over and over again, the Giants have leads in the fourth quarter. Whether it's a double-digit lead or a 2-point lead, the Giants have leads. It's on the defense to make plays, and I'm starting to hear the defensive players themselves get frustrated that Shane Bowen is not putting them in positions to have success.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Sam Darnold's 4-interception meltdown fueled the long-running doubts about his big game reliability. When Darnold feels pressure, he panics, holds onto the ball too long, and forces throws. Each pick on Sunday showed a mix of hesitation and hero ball. Until Darnold proves he can stay poised when it matters, this narrative will keep following him. I'm Maggie Gray.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way. With a dedication to lasting quality. Trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member.
Alrighty, folks. For weeks now, you've heard me speak about my new favorite water, Elevate Hydrogen-Infused Super Water. But did you know that Elevate isn't just the cleanest, most advanced water on the planet? Its potential benefits are actually backed by over 1,600 plus scientific studies. And just speaking for myself, I do feel quite amazing when I'm drinking it. So the question is, where can you pick up your Elevate? Well, if you do live in the 5 Boroughs, why not stop by your local Walgreens or Duane Reade? And if you're not local, check Check out Elevate at Amazon for complimentary shipping. Drink Elevate, as I do.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Who's ready to hit the ice? It'll be another exciting hockey season with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night. Don't miss any of the action on the ice by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today and make your bets. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements, rewards may vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Tune into the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on the Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
Target brings more taste, more flavor, and more deals to your Thanksgiving table. Save big on affordable holiday crowd pleasers, like select elevated sides and appetizers from Good & Gather for only $4.99. Favorite day pies for a sweet finishing touch, also just $4.99. And don't forget, great tasting turkey for only 79 cents a pound. So many cravings, so many ways to save. Step into the holidays and elevate your Thanksgiving today. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Once upon a time, Dunkin' made the perfect donut. And from its center came something even better. Dunkin' Munchkins, tiny bits of joy made from the dough they scooped right out of the middle. This holiday season, Dunkin' Munchkins remind us that even the smallest of things can mean the most, like laughing with friends or enjoying the last munchkin in the box. So grab a box of 3, 5, 25, or 50. Share them, gift them, or keep them all for yourself. We won't tell. Dunkin' Munchkins. Proof that something so small can be the best bite of all. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Now, time for Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth with Brenton Tierney and Sal Licata.
Oh, yeah. All right, a little Bold Face Truth, Bold Face Lie. Hoff, what do you have for us on this Tuesday?
All right, well, let's start with BT. Yep. So we were just talking a little bit off air about AI and whatnot. Bold face lie, bold face truth. BT, David Stearns will use a baseball version of AI to build the 2026 Mets roster.
He might be tempted, but I'm going to say a bold face lie here. I know that he's well principled in what he believes. He's also a very smart guy. So whether or not I agree with the entire direction of how he builds the Mets remains to be seen. And so far, one good year, one bad year. I'm going to say a bald-faced lie, but as I'm saying this, I don't know if there's something at your disposal to make it easier. I'm just going to stop and say bald-faced lie, but I guess I can't put it past him. I don't know. Kind of in between on that one, Sal.
I mean, do you think, here's the way that I would ask it before I answer. Do you think that Major League Baseball front offices in any way, shape, or form use AI?
I would think they probably do.
Me too.
Yeah.
And that is why I can't just say no, because if I believe that they're using it, which it could be helpful. I mean, I'm looking at this list that Hoff brought out with the highlights of the Mets and Yanks from the past encyclopedia article that he just wrote. And I think back to the days of where I was working with Francesa, and imagine Mike being like, guys, could you get me the Cliff Notes? It would take me years to do this. I'd be back there nervous, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I have to read the whole article probably multiple times, then take the notes on any time that it pertains to the Mets and Yankees. It would take me all day to do this. And Hoff got it done in 10 seconds. So I don't know if it would be the worst thing in the world to use AI. I don't think he's going to build his baseball team like that.
Well, think about this, though. You have all these analytical statistics that nobody knows. It's FIP and all this other crap. You just put them all into an engine and say, give me the best player.
I have a question for you. I know this is a different segment, but if you just typed in right now on AI, expected contract Trent Grisham, Would it? It would spit back an answer, right? I'm curious what the answer is.
I have to put some other information.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just curious.
But you have to feed it information.
But they don't know what he's thinking. Like, you can't go into Trent Grisham's brain. I mean,
no. I don't mean that. I mean, what you take, previous comps and you kind of read the market based on
saying we think he
qualifying offer, age.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you throw in all the analytics that they have of like all the defense, all the offense, what other guys are. You put that all in there, and they're gonna say, boom,
4
he's
years,
worth
$60 million.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
So.
All right.
I think he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's not building a team like that. By the way, I got some interest. I was just texting with an industry source, and I got some interesting notes as it pertains to Alonso. We'll do that after the segment. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Bald-faced lie, bald-faced truth. Sal.
Yeah.
Jonathan Quick had every right to attack Mason Appleton after putting the puck in the net at the end of the game horn.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You didn't see that? No, 2 days ago.
I know Jonathan Quick is a Ranger. I did not see this. What happened? Explain
So basically, Mason Appleton was coming down. The horn
Who's Mason Appleton?
He's on the Detroit Red Wings.
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry about that.
I mean, come on.
I thought you knew.
Yeah, Mason Appleton. I know Jonathan Quick. I don't know Mason Appleton. Okay,
so it was a 2-1 game. They were coming down. The horn blew end the game, and he put the puck in the net after the horn had sounded. So as they were just skating by, just celebrating the win, Jonathan Quick came and just sucker punched him.
He did?
That's a disrespectful thing?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Jonathan, I'm going to look at him
if you said like Steve Yzerman or Chelios or what a Shanahan, I'd be like, I'm all over it. I'm going to say that I'm with Quick here. Ballface. Now, but how did you frame the question? He was out of bounds?
No, I said he had every right to attack him.
Ballface truth. Yeah. Now, I just want you know more about this than I do. Like, what is the protocol here? Assuming you don't do that. Otherwise, Quick, who's been around forever, wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have acted that way if it wasn't really against, hockey protocol or ethics. So it seemed like what's his name? Mason what?
Mason
Plumlee?
So basically, and I will to the beginning of the season, I think it was Yuri Saros who, with the National Predators, they did an introduction, and everybody from the Ottawa Senators, Saros is on the Predators. Yeah. Everyone from the Senators went and got introduced through his goal crease, and he was pissed.
Oh, 100%.
So he was like livid, and he kind of, I think, gave some jabs and stuff like that. So
as he should.
That's like their territory. You can't tread on that.
That's their domain. I mean, that's like Billy Smith back in the day with the Isles. You come to the crease, you're getting whacked with that coho. Right? He's going to hit you hard. He did.
Apparently, an unwritten rule. I had no problem with Jonathan Quick doing it. And
nice.
I'm just reading some of the quotes about it.
I respect it.
He was talking about it matter-of-factly after the game. He's like, this is nothing. I wasn't mad at anything that happened during the game. This is you can't do it.
Nice.
You all saw what happened. The horn goes a couple of seconds. He shoots it in the net. I don't know why they were surprised. That's usually the response when something like that happened.
That's a great answer.
Boys jumped in, did the right thing.
That's an even better answer. That's great. A little team unity, a little team bond in here.
That's tremendous. I love Jonathan Quick even more after this one.
Hoff, did he fire it with juice, or did he kind of flick it in soft, just out of curiosity?
I think it was like a soft whatever, but still, you can't do it. It's like it's like taking a shot at the end of the game in NBA. Like, there's no reason for it. You don't have to do it. Like, if the time is winding down and you want to try to hit a buzzer beater, but you're up by 50, like, why are you doing
the ball?
That?
You don't pad the stats.
Yeah, exactly. And final one, ball-faced lie, ball-faced truth. Speaking of basketball, the Nets will win less than 10 games this season.
I got to be honest. I'm going to say ball-faced truth. They stink. There is not a team that I care less about than that team. I mean, I get in the car, I hear them, I flick the station within a second. I hear them in an update, I tune out. I see an article, I move within a nanosecond. I could not care less
2-11
about the Nets.
They're playing the Celtics tonight. That should be a good one.
Yeah. I actually tried to get tickets for that game. One of the producers at SNY, a big Celtics fan, so I asked, hey, if nobody's using the tickets, whatever. Sometimes like, oh, no, people can use it, maybe clients or whatever. I'm like, oh, no problem. And then they get back to me, hey, can't do 4. Can you use 2? And I asked my friend Dave, and he's like, sorry, can't do it. He's going to take the family. I found out that somebody else, an on-air host, also put in for tickets.
Over here, right?
Yes.
I think I heard Evan talking about. Oh, no, wait. It was Loogie or Sean?
No, it was Evan. Evan, who has season tickets to the Nets, also put in for that same game.
Well, he should get them. He's a Nets fan. He should get them over you. You're not a Nets fan.
He has his own season tickets, and they're not even for him. He's doing the same thing I was. Now, to credit sales, they did not pick a side. They said split it 2-2. I said just let Evan have it. He has everything else. Just give it to him. Go ahead. The rich get richer. Go ahead. Little old me, Sal. I'll sit here and tell my buddy, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you out because Evan and his season tickets are not enough. He's got to go into the bank for more Nets tickets. So go ahead. Just give him to Evan.
Yeah, get free food. Now, the game is tonight? The game is tonight?
Yeah, they play tonight.
I'll tell you. I mean, I actually respect your willing. Like, so you were at Raw last night. You wanted to go to...
I wasn't going to go.
Oh, I got
was getting them for my friend.
Okay,
the same thing with Evan. He's getting them.
No, I got you.
Yeah,
I misunderstood the
yeah.
first part about you. So
no, I have no interest in going.
I was going to say, you go to the Nets game tonight?
I went last year to hang out with Mike from Edison Heating and Cooling.
I remember when you did that.
Yeah. So,
but he's done work for you. You guys have a business
he's a great
relationship.
guy.
Your buddies.
That's different.
That's different than Evan Muchin. Yeah, the more I hear about this, I got to jump on Team Sal.
Can I get back to the AI stuff? Somebody hit us up on Twitter.
Yes.
With the AI overview of Trent Grisham's projected contract.
See, there's something. I'm going to say 4 years, $60 million. Go ahead.
4 years, $66 million, but then also a 4-year, $90 million deal.
He's not getting 90. There's no way.
They vary from 466 to 4 to 90.
Dude, I'm right in the neighborhood. I said 460, and AI spat out 466.
466
I'm almost as smart as AI. Why do you need AI when you got BT?
Yeah.
You good.
Who needs AI when you got BT?
Jesus.
I like that.
Let's get the Alonso stuff. What do we got?
You want it now?
You know what? Is it good?
By the way, check your text.
Check my text.
Yeah. We just
Should I check this?
No, you're not on this one, my friend. I'm sorry. You get a group text there, BT?
Oh! Hey, here we go.
We just get.
Oh, I know you're happy. Oh, I don't want you going to that party.
Oh, my complaining finally worked.
Dude, tell everybody who it's from. Go ahead.
Well, A-Rod's guy, not A-Rod himself.
A-Rod's cousin, not his guy. It's his cousin.
Wow,
Nick, great
his
guy.
cousin. Yeah, he shot a text saying, all right, let's try to make this a group chat this time so there's no
miscommunication.
Slips through the cracks with miscommunication. And we got a little invite. We got an invite. I know you already had it.
Yeah, me and Jen, yes.
Okay, but now the invite has been extended to we.
All right.
We are invited to A-Rod's
Does it have
Christmas
a date on it
party.
yet? I didn't, because he didn't tell me the date.
No, he wants the emails. I guess there's going to be a email invitation.
An official. How fancy is this thing going to be at A-Rod's crib?
I don't know.
Kidding me?
I don't know, but I'm excited. I don't care if we're working or not. I'm taking off for that. All right, so... Sorry to,
No, that's funny. I didn't see it. I was, unlike you, I don't look at my phone during the show.
I didn't want to jump in.
I got you.
You know, the Christmas party one. I was just saying about the
now you weaseled your way in with my relationship with A-Rod.
See, maybe this wouldn't have happened if you just took me to the premiere like we were supposed to. If you let me know about that invite,
I think it would have happened anyway. Because think about this. I was sick. For those who forgot, I didn't purposely try to omit my partner. No, I did take half an L. I dropped the ball. I got the text from Alex and then from his cousin.
Yeah.
And I was too sick to say, hey, by the way, maybe Sal could go. Whatever. I did own that a little bit. Of course, everybody at the station called me out, so I really had no choice but to own it. Boomer, dump it on me in the morning. You dump it on me, so I had to own it. But if you would have gone. And say if I did do the right thing and you went, even though I was sick, you would have been going to the Christmas party anyway.
I don't want it to feel like I'm intruding on your thing with him.
Well, luckily I have the confidence, when you date somebody, I was there first.
Yeah.
I was
right.
I got to know Alex first.
I really don't care, but you better believe I'm going to that Christmas party, baby.
Hey, unlike you and Evan and whoever else at the station was dating that one girl, I don't know who was from. Somebody was first, somebody was fourth.
Al as well. All right.
Al Dukes.
Maybe others I can't name. All right, so I'll give you the news here. We'll take a break, come back, reset, down with the king topic of the day. We'll get back to the Scatterboo stuff. We'll get back to all the baseball hot stove. So I was texting with an industry source who said, quote, very unlikely that Pete comes back. The rumors you're hearing out there are very true that the Mets will not bend. I followed up saying, well, what do you think the Mets max would be? He said 2 + 1 at around 30.
Pack his bags now. He's gone. 2 + 1?
Meaning 2 years plus maybe an option.
Naylor got 5.
At around 30.
Yeah.
Now again, this is...
So the market was now set. The market was set?
No, hold on, Hoff. This is not gospel. Before I get crucified here, all I'm saying
I'm not crucifying you.
It's an industry source who knows how these things work. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring it to the air. And this is his opinion based on information he has. So now I'm sharing it that it is unlikely that the Mets are going to bend. So if the Mets aren't going to bend, and then he goes on to reference that there are some teams that he thinks that Pete's going to get more than that.
Boston is going to go bonkers with their offer.
He said he's not sure about Boston. I'll give you the exact quote. I don't think it ends up being Boston, but maybe Cincy, maybe Tampa. He also references the Angels, that there is some industry speculation. Quote, the market consensus is the Angels are going to be the stupid team to overpay.
There's always one. Are the Yankees on the list?
No, they're not. Now,
Good. I don't want him on the Yankees list at all.
Yeah, that's been reported. I was going to say, I don't know if I heard that off the air or on the air, but that's been reported that the Yankees have no interest in it.
Around.
Anyway, all right, BT and Sal on the Fan. Take a quick break, reset, get back with your calls, 888-808-1019.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
You have to be able to stop the run in the Northeast when you're outdoors. And if you can't do that, you're going to get steamrolled.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on 0 down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out. At Nielsen, Friday's in the driver's seat.
Black Friday sales event. With approval term 24 months through its signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, add tax tag $498 dock and DMV fees.
Good Morning Football Overtime. All about the NFL. Because it's made by the NFL. Breaking down their headline stories with exclusive insider access from players to the coaches, plus some of the biggest names in entertainment. Stop by. Catch Good Morning Football Overtime. Weekdays at 12 noon on My 9.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
My man, Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, and sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for all their aches and pains. Visit SamwellPain.com.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Together, let's drive a Paramus Chevrolet. For $447 a month and $2164 due at delivery, lease a brand new Traverse 4D Wagon LT with front-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying, enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:02. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. And by Dr. Jay Shaw at Samwell Pain Management. Visit SamwellPain.com. Abdul Carter doing more damage control this morning. The Giants rookie pass rusher now telling ESPN that he did not sleep through a walkthrough last week. He was receiving treatment, and Mike Kafka knows that. Carter also denying that he has been late to multiple things this season. This was the first time. NFL.com says Aaron Rodgers does not need surgery for his broken left wrist. Rodgers still wants to be out there someday when the Steelers take on the Bears. A quick hot stove check. The Mets are to be showing interest in Yankee reliever Devin Williams. The NBA reportedly warning but not punishing Draymond Green for confronting a fan during Sunday night's game in New Orleans. That 35-year-old man confirming he was taunting Green for most of the first half. The Nets host the Celtics tonight, 7:20 here on the Fan. Boston's won its last 10 trips to Brooklyn, including the postseason. And all three hockey locals in action tonight. The Devils in Tampa, the Islanders in Dallas, the Rangers in Vegas. Fan weather sponsored by Paramus Chevrolet. It is 43, partly sunny in Central Park. And that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and
Scatterboo, and that's what we started the show with. Monday Night Raw last night. Hoff and I were on hand to see it. Scatterboo was in the crowd, front row with Abdul Carter. You know, obviously the news with Abdul Carter this week. This is the day after all the stuff comes out about him sleeping through meetings and missing walkthroughs. He's there holding the Giants championship belt, getting into a little bit of scrum with Dom Mysterio, and then Scatterboo gets into a shoving match. Probably not the best thing for the Giants right now, BT, the way things have gone here, and even more specifically with the injury to Scatterboo.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously agree. I said that to start the show. It's a lack of awareness, and I don't want to be that guy that just, get off the lawn, kids. You can't have fun, kids. Have as much fun as you want. You're young once, but there's got to be a modicum of responsibility as a professional athlete. There's optics, and then there's actually putting yourself in a little bit of danger, perhaps. And although the optics for Carter after his day yesterday were bad last night, just seemed like he didn't have a care in the world, and that doesn't really show me that he gets it, at least the magnitude of what's been reported. And then the actual putting yourself in harm's way is what Cam Scatterboo did. So luckily he didn't get hurt, but it was a little cavalier for me, and I can't imagine the Giants like that. And really bigger picture, less about Cam and even to a lesser extent about Carter, even though I've got more of an issue with him. I just think it really speaks to the sloppiness and the disconnect and the lack of authority and understanding inside the Giants building what it takes to actually be a winning team, despite the fake wrestling belt that they had over their shoulder.
And then the other stuff that we talked about, and this is going to be really, the news of the day here. So Jeff Passan comes out with an article, a long article on ESPN.com, going over all the moves that he thinks could be made this offseason. And there's a lot there for both the Mets and Yankees. Both teams, as of this moment, in on Kyle Tucker. He says the Yankees could use an upgrade over Anthony Volpe at short, so potential fit for Bo Bichette. Now, again, to me, that's more speculation than realistic.
That's
Who knows?
Not happening.
Yeah,
no way the Yanks
I don't think
are doing
so.
that.
Yanks would want Bellinger back. The Mets are trying to build a loaded bullpen with the idea of bringing Diaz back and signing Devin Williams if they show interest in him. And maybe the most interesting thing from this is that the Mets are, quote, blowing up plenty, meaning trading away players. Nimmo, McNeil, Luis Angel Acuna, Senga, Vientos, Beatty, all will be made available or all are available from the Mets.
It's time to go shopping, man. Yankees aren't good enough. Mets are even below that. So it's time to start popping on these deals here. And I don't mean like getting announcements today. I mean just understanding what the plan is and really what the urgency is and the magnitude, Sal, of the off seasons that both of these teams need to have. And what I think is very interesting, number one, I do think both teams will be very active. So that report doesn't surprise me at all from Jeff. I also think that it's not just like last year for the Mets was about adding. Last year, once the Yankees lost Juan Soto, it was about adding and going to plan B and adding the 4 players they brought in. This year, it's got to be a little bit of a hybrid where both the Yankees and Mets need to add, clearly, but I also think the Yanks and the Mets need to delete, whether it's a Nimmo, whether it's a Stanton, which I know they won't do, or something else where I think you need to further change the composition of each roster.
And then the other thing, BT, is I was talking, and again, I'm not reporting this. I'm just saying that I was speaking to and texting with, well, not speaking to, texting with an industry source who's got some insight here on, trust me, I know he knows the inner workings of the games and the contracts. It doesn't mean it's gospel, but he was just saying that it's unlikely that Pete comes back to the Mets. The rumors that you're hearing about the Mets not willing to bend are very true, and I find there's a lot of other stuff in there. He goes over some teams. The Angels are being looked at as one of the teams who could spend stupidly. Maybe Cincinnati, even Tampa could get involved for Pete's power. And then I was like, well, what do you think the Mets max is? And he said 2+1, around 30 per year. Now, if that's the case, and again, it's not gospel. It doesn't work for the Mets, just an industry source. If that's the case, I don't think there's any chance the Mets retain Pete Alonso, because I firmly believe. Now, Naylor got 5 years, $90 million, which is it's actually embarrassing.
I don't mind it. I like Naylor a lot better than you.
Well, no, I'm saying.
Oh, you mean based on Pete getting maybe 2+1?
Well, the contract for Naylor, once I saw 5 years, I was thinking, okay, well, Pete's not taking anything less than that, and nor would I if I were Pete Alonso. I'm taking minimum 5 years. If Naylor, and I know he's 2 years younger, I don't care. I'm better than he is. But the fact that Naylor got 90, that's not going to do Pete any favors. What's 5 years, $90 million is, come on, that's nothing.
It's not resetting
The Mets would sign Pete for that in a second. Pete's looking to get 3 years, $90 million, not 5 or 6.
True.
So he might not get the total amount that he wants. I bet you Pete wants $200 million. You could get 6, 7 years. No, I'm saying that's what he wants.
I get it. There's a lot of things we want.
I would go to 160. That would be my initial offer. Or what did I say? 180. 6 years for 180. I mean, I feel like that's to get ahead of the market, that's a more than fair offer. He might get that, what I would offer Pete. He might get that somewhere else.
Yep.
But according to my industry source in this particular case, it doesn't seem like the Mets would be willing to go there.
No, and I don't think that they should. I mean, listen, the Alonso thing is very complicated. I get it. It really is. And I'm sensitive to, what he's done and what he means to Met fans. And I really mean that. $30 million a year over 6 to me is ludicrous. If I ran the Mets, I would not do that. That's just me, right? But now I got to be fair to Pete. Like, if this, and this source that you just got, and you and I were talking about this during the break, and so I know it's well sourced, right? If the Mets, if that's true, and their best offer is 2+1, that's disrespectful.
All right, well, let's say it's 3+1. Even if
I still think Pete would reject it, but at least it's a much more presentable, fair. I would think that the Mets kind of did the right thing at that point. I couldn't really criticize.
Well, Mike, we don't know. Again, he's just giving his opinion based on his knowledge and insight. Doesn't know specifically the case, but so my point is, even if he's on the lower end and it's 3+1, I still don't think that's going to be enough to retain Pete.
I agree with you.
The difference was last year with the qualifying offer attached, coming off of 2 quote-unquote down years for him, the market just wasn't there. I have to believe, all it takes is one. I have to believe that there's going to be one team. And remember, the Mets were willing to let him go last year off of a year where they got to the NLCS. You don't think the Mets will be willing to let him go off of a year where they won 83 freaking games, even with that production that Pete had?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying I can believe that the Mets might be willing to draw the line. And I think that a lot of people will believe that because they believe Stearns doesn't necessarily want Pete back at the price it might cost. And the hope would be that Cohen would jump in.
And not prevent Stearns or basically usurp Stearns and say, hey, he means a lot to our fans, and despite you not thinking this makes the most baseball sense as my GM, I'm going to flex because it's my team. If that happens, I think that's a bad dynamic for the Mets, and I think it happened last year. I do not think Cohen will do that this year. I don't. Now here's the thing, too. There's a lot of different sources, and there's a lot of different names, and there's a lot of possibilities here. What I'm able to extrapolate from all the noise, all right, is that the Mets finally know that they've got to take a wrecking ball to this roster. That's my takeaway.
Right, regardless of the Alonso situation you're talking about?
Yep, the Nimmo, maybe trade Senga. There's just a lot of things out there right now.
Nimmo's got full no-trade clause.
I know.
And or full no-trade protection, so that's not going to be easy. Yeah, I mean, look, I brought up trading Nimmo in season, and I personally like Brandon Nimmo a lot. Probably one of my favorite Mets personally on the team. They just need to change it. I don't know if they would realistically entertain moving on from Lindor. Maybe they wouldn't. That would be something that I would do as well. But according to Passan, it's the idea of Nimmo, McNeil, two guys who, without question, I mean, McNeil should have been traded years ago. Without question, he should be up for grabs. Luis Angel Acuna, I like him, but I'd move on from him. Vientos, Beatty, you can't have. They have 4 different guys who we're talking about basically for the same positions. It just can't happen. And the other guy in Nimmo, who's not that he's overly expensive, but his skill set is not something that the Mets really need. They'd be better off spending that money elsewhere and having somebody that could be a more well-rounded ball player that can perform in the field and maybe be more consistent throughout the course of a season.
I think when you look at the front of the rotation, those are massive organizational transformative decisions. Whether you give up a McLean, which one do you give up in the Sproat and Tong situation for somebody like Skubal? That's a huge decision. And then I really think the other big, of course, Pete will be the second biggest decision. And then the other one is, how much do they trust Menge to win the job? Because what did I say?
Bench?
Carson Bench,
yeah, center field.
Yeah, so think about this. If you start the season and let's say you don't get Baldinger, which I don't think they will. I think he's staying here. You know that. Mm-hmm. Even if they did get Tucker's not a center fielder. You're still going to have to. It's a pretty big leap of faith center field still because there's nobody on the roster right now. All right, you want to put Taylor out there again, and hit 190 and play scrappy and play good defense? You could, but I think they've got to be 2-3 steps ahead of that. So there's just big moves coming.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll also have Nattie Neidhart in studio with us. She's got her book going on, but we could talk to her about some of the stuff that went down last night between some of the wrestlers and Cam Scattaboo on Monday Night Raw. So we'll have some fun with her in about an hour from now. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Dom is in Westport. What's up, Dom?
Hey, guys. Best show definitely on the Fan. Really enjoy. Want to make a couple points about Abdul Carter. Agree with you. It is a bad look, especially in light of his season that he's having. I guess sleep is not just affecting him, though, and his career. We also had CeeLo with a little sleep incident. So
yeah.
But, there's a famous story I'm sure you guys know about LT sleeping in a meeting.
Yeah.
And one of the coaches came and he drew up, the scheme for defense. And, the comparison, I mean, this guy, I think it just has to do with, entitlement sense that these people have. He went to Penn State, picked first round. And the lack of work ethic. And we see it all the time. I'm in finance, and it amazes me to see, these associates walk out the door at 5 o'clock. When I was an associate, that was unheard of. So I think it has a lot to do with that. And he's been like that. Sometimes these guys that are 5th or 6th round draft picks, they have a better work ethic.
Well, but Dom, think about this. Dom, that's a broad stereotype. So you're talking about whether it's the young lawyer, maybe bouncing from the firm earlier than back in the day, or what you do in finance. And again, I know that you're not saying it applies to everybody. Clearly, look at Scattaboo, who was a 4th round pick who would run through a concrete slab to get a first down. So, I know you're not trying to be unfair to the younger generation, but it does seem like, it was a broad stroke. I don't know if his work ethic is an issue. I don't know that. I know his focus is an issue. I know his timeliness and maybe commitment to being on time is reportedly an issue, but I'm not going to sit here and say that Abdul Carter takes plays off during practice or mails it in the weight room. I'm not there. I'm sure, and I'm not even saying that you're saying that, but we just need to be careful. You can be a little unprofessional but still work hard. Yeah. I think we need to find out more about Abdul Carter's commitment to being great.
Mistakes happen, and if he truly fell asleep or whatever, was getting treatment and missed a meeting or walkthrough, okay, not great, especially for a rookie, but you could live with it. The reports of the repeated stuff, sleeping through meeting, okay, even that, but the fact that it's been repeated, missed walkthrough, to a point where the new head coach, the interim head coach, had to discipline him, that's obviously an issue. And my biggest issue is not even that. That's not good, and I wouldn't tolerate that. My biggest issue is that he hasn't done anything. On the field. That's what I care about. The Giants' defense has been the biggest disappointment to their team this year. Fact. Abdul Carter has not been anywhere near what you expect from a number 3 pick overall and the way that he was projected coming out of college. Also fact. So those are my biggest issues. If he were producing and the Giants were winning, we might not even hear about him sleeping through a meeting or missing a walkthrough. Now, again, I wouldn't be a fan of that anyway. It's just not how I operate.
Yep.
But at least I could say, well, I mean, the guy's got 9 sacks or 8 sacks. If it came out that Burns missed a meeting, we'd be like, well, that's not great. But the guy's playing his rear end off this year.
Yeah.
So it's all of the above. Most specifically for me, the lack of production from Abdul Carter every Sunday.
You ever get a professional massage? Of course you have, right? Okay. So my wife and I have I'm not going to give them a free pop, but we have one of these outlets where we have, one a month and we accrue.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're so busy we never go. So we basically have at this point like 30 in the bank. I mean, I'm probably never going to use them, although she could use them for facials, whatever. It's a complete waste of money, really, at the end of the day. But I fall asleep once in a while on the table. I really have, right? So I'm just... And I'm not trying to overthink this, and I'm trying to be fair, but the term recovery is what's very interesting here. Now, when you're recovering, I'm not a former pro athlete, so I might be missing something here. Recovery is generally a massage or some sort of muscle manipulation or electric stim, okay, or an ice bath.
Yeah.
Like, my point is, if you're getting recovery, generally somebody is in charge of the recovery. Somebody that works for the Giants.
Right. And can schedule.
Don't you think they would know the schedule?
Yeah, I would, yes.
That's what I'm saying. That just sounds
like BS.
I'm not going to call him a liar straight up, but it sounds like it's a stretch.
Mark is calling from Oceanside. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
Another great show by you guys. Just very, very interesting. Okay, one for you, Sal, and one for you, BT.
Okay.
Sal, I think Alex Bregman is a terrific player, but I don't think he's right for the Mets. For a couple of reasons. Number one, he's going to want 4 or 5 years. His numbers have been declining, and we have so many other needs. We can use Beatty at third. We need a second baseman. We need a center fielder. We might need a first baseman. We need a starter. We need a reliever. So to use a lot of money on Bregman at third, you can't spend money everywhere. I know we have Cone, but I think it's a bit much. We can use Beatty. He's at least shown to be adequate, if not a little better.
Okay, so why you didn't give me an answer, though, on why you wouldn't want Bregman. I mean, he's still a good player. If I told you that it wasn't going to prevent other holes from being filled, you could also play Bregman at third, have Beatty at second. What if you trade some of those guys to fill, let's say, center field? You get Robert in center field because you trade 2 or 3 of those guys, and you could have Bregman play third base. And if Alonso walks, you could have to figure out first base as well, obviously. But why? I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to play your Bregman. His numbers were solid to me. And
look at his last 2 years in numbers before you say his numbers.
He's declined a bit. He has. I'll give you that.
But they're still solid. And he's
they are solid.
And he's a
but
terrific defensive.
If you're going to give the guy a 4 or 5 year contract when his numbers are starting to decline.
All right, well, what would be then your answer?
Yeah,
okay,
who's playing third?
Yeah, Bregman's not your top guy. Then what are you doing? Are you going all in for Baldinger? What are you doing?
No. I definitely would want Baldinger. Definitely.
Okay. I mean, that's a different story.
And if we're not going to sign Pete, you better bring in somebody who can hit behind Soto. You better bring in a Kyle Tucker.
All right, but who? Okay, Kyle Tucker. So you want Baldinger and Kyle Tucker?
I'll take either. I'd be happy with either one. You're probably not going to get both.
But you still need more if you lose Pete. Yeah. And even if you have Pete. Nice for the call.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. He wanted to ask
That's
you
all
one.
good. It's all good. So, like, the Bregman thing I find really interesting. I love him. All right. Now, again, there isn't a real detectable dip, and I'm not going to bore you with Savant, the advance, but he doesn't really hit the ball that hard anymore, and you guys should go check it out. It's very quantifiable. Bat speed's a little down, whatever. Let me ask you this. If you're not a Bregman fan for 4 years or 5 years, all right, that's the big picture. How about this? 2 out, 9th inning, first and third, Mets down a run, the Braves closer, the Phillies closer, the Dodgers closer. When he rifles a double down the right field line with 2 strikes, you're going to like Bregman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's solid.
He's a gamer. He's a baseball player, and you win because of guys like Bregman.
He's done it in the postseason before. He's done it in the clutch spots. You know that you put him in at third base. He's an everyday solid defender, great defender, and he's just going to give you professional at-bats. So he could hit, what did he hit, 280, 270?
Last year he had 273.
Okay. What career is what?
272.
Okay.
I mean, so basically, he doesn't drop too
And what
much.
about the homers? 25? What do you hit?
Last year was a surprise. He only had 18 because I'm looking at a spray chart. And one of the things about when there was a thought, well, maybe, and it wasn't very serious, but we had the conversations last year. Should the Yankees go after Bregman?
Yeah.
And
I wanted the Yankees to get him last year.
I know, and I did too. I've always respected the hell out. He's just a pure baseball player. He's a winner. He's a gamer. But his power is to left field, which obviously does not really behoove the dimensions of Yankee Stadium. So he only hit 18 home runs last year at Fenway, which is a little surprising. And I'm looking at his spray chart, and he only had one, let's see, in terms of extra base hits, 3, this will only take a second, 4, 6, 8 extra base hits from center field to right field. So he is a predominantly left center hitter, which we knew, but I'm surprised he only had 18 bombs in Fenway.
How many doubles did you say you had?
Doubles, I don't have that in front of me because I'm on Savant.
Okay, I was just thinking off the top of my head.
Hold on, I got double. 20, 25 doubles. Is that right? 17? That seems very low. Oh, that's 17 on... all right, 17 on fastballs, 7 on breaking balls. That's 24. Off speed, they break it down weirdly. Okay. 28. Looks like he had about 30, 28 or 30.
I'm about to pull an Abdul Carter and fall asleep.
Come on. Somebody's got to give people the numbers here.
PT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019.
I love my numbers. Come on, man. There's some truth behind those numbers, Sal. Hey, there's also numbers to win if you get the right thing on FanDuel. Let's go. A little FanDuel here. The #1 sports book for same-game parlays, points, and rebounds to threes and dimes, whatever you want. FanDuel is a great spot to combine picks and a same-game parlay. Track every stat live. Also with one easy-to-use app. So right now is a great time to join. New customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Bet on the players you love. Bet on the players you trust the way you want. Everybody's got their own routine. Just head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Do a little Knicks later. I did say that last time I read about FanDuel, but did not like some things I saw from our guy Cat last night. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, get paid right away. So FanDuel's the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It may be the offseason for the Bombers and Amazons, but there's no offseason for Yankees and Mets talk. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hey, New Yorkers. Fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with autopay, mobile plus discount, and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios. For eligible new Fios internet and mobile customers, both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
Great deals are waiting for you at your local Kia dealer during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So, gift yourself some savings and drive home a capable Kia SUV or powerful Kia sedan today.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Head to SNY for all the latest offseason news and rumors.
A very busy and a very important offseason for the Mets.
With insider opinion.
What's your take on the deal?
And exclusive access.
Get it going here with Carlos Mendoza.
On Mets Hot Stove, Wednesdays at 6:30, only on SNY.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get an impressive offer on a new Mazda CX-5 starting at $28,319 during the More to Move You sales event. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
For the calls, get some calls in here. Less than an hour, we'll have Nattie Neidhart in studio. We're talking some baseball free agency, a lot from the Jeff Passan article as well. And, of course, Cam Scadaboo and the Giants out at Monday Night Raw last night. Ronald is calling from Inwood. What's up, Ronald?
Hey, yeah, guys. I want to touch base on what Scadaboo did. And listen, a caller called in, Boomer. Yeah, I was listening since Boomer and Gio. A caller called and said, and he mentioned ISO Speed went in there and it was scripted.
Dude, he got hurt. Did you see that?
Yes.
I brought that up to. Yes. We brought that up. We had Cody Rhodes in studio, and we brought that up to him. That dude got mauled in the ring.
Yeah, by Brun on break. That guy is a beast. I mean, taking a hit from that guy. But he failed to mention that I still got cut in the leg. Yeah, in the Unreal. Yeah, we touched base on that.
Yeah, I mean, so your point, thank you for the call, Ronald. So the point is that, and I just had Loogie come in there. He's like, come on, you guys are really mad at Scadaboo. I was like, well, BT more than me, but he's like, it's scripted. It's a work. It was a Balor threw him a love tap, really. The elbow was a love tap.
Okay.
And I was like, well, the point is, he's does he need to be doing it? He's injured right now.
Of course not.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point.
okay with it?
Well, Loogie seems like he's going to be okay with it. Stay tuned for Evan and Tiki coming up at 2 o'clock. But the issue is it's bad optics regardless. And luckily nothing happened from it. No injury happened. And, it is on the wrestler to make sure they protect the non-wrestler in this spot. But I just don't think it's smart to have anybody in harm's way at all, even if it is in a scripted, safer environment. The last thing you want to have with somebody who's actually injured, Scadaboo or somebody else, is to be in a physical, altercation or whatever, a physical script.
How much do you think a suplex hurts?
I think it probably hurts.
It's gotta hurt,
if somebody suplexed your eye, a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
My buddy Brian Myers, he could probably do this. We could go in the ring with him, and I'm saying, and give us a suplex. I think I'd be hurting.
So do I. Because CM Punk was getting rolled around. He was getting chucked around like a rag doll.
By Brock Lesnar?
By Brock.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He looked even better. That's the biggest I've ever seen Brock Lesnar. When he came out, his shoulders and his deltoid, his upper body was freakishly big.
You know, they were telling me Braun Breaker. Hoff, is this right? They said Braun Breaker is one of the Steiner's kids.
I did not know that.
One of the Steiner brothers.
Yeah, I know the Steiner brothers, of course. Yeah.
I want to say Rick Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin. But that's just a guess because he looks like him a little bit.
Scott Steiner is his uncle.
Okay, so that means Rick Steiner is his dad. Is that true or no?
Robert Resch Steiner. Maybe that's Rick.
Yeah, the dog-faced gremlin. Do they have him on there? Is that anyway? These guys they're intimidating, man.
Yeah,
you see them up close like
they're
that.
They're massive, dude.
Yeah, but
and they move too.
It is Rick Steiner, yeah.
They move. It's not like we were growing up. A lot of these guys didn't have a lot of quickness and dexterity. It was more, Vince loved the big, brawny, the Hogans and the Bundys and the Studs and the Andres, and then Bret Hart and that new wave came in. Shawn Michael, of course, who we'll talk about coming up next hour. It's a fast game. It's totally different.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Paul is calling from Yonkers. What's up, Paul?
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, Paul?
This is the second year I'm hearing how nobody, Met fans, talking heads, will not make Pete Alonso happy. It's either I'm not giving him years or I'm not giving him $160 million.
Yeah.
Well, listen, why can't we do both? Give Steve Cohen 4 years, give Pete the money, give him $200 million. Let him and Soto opt out together in 4 years. Mm-hmm. They're both going to give us 40 homers, 100 RBIs for the next couple of years. And if Steve Cohen cannot build around that by leaving minor leaguers all over this field, get rid of the minor leaguers, the third baseman, the catchers, give me players.
Yep.
Build around these two guys and stop it.
Paul, can I ask?
Sign them.
Can I ask you a question? I hear you. I appreciate it. The more you hammer home that point, the higher the voice gets. You mean it. I love it. All right, but let's face it. I got you. I understood, my man.
Paul. Okay.
Understood.
I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. We love your passion. So when Aaron Judge was a free agent, the Yankees did whatever it took to retain him. When the Mets wanted Juan Soto, they did whatever it took to get him. Don't you think the fact that the Mets aren't all in on Pete kind of tells you they don't really think he's as good as maybe you do?
The president of operations doesn't want him.
Yeah.
Steve Cohen's the owner.
Right.
He has to go over his head. You don't waste two guys on your teams with 40 and a homer. It doesn't grow on trees.
But they didn't win last year with that.
This minor league is on third. The catcher went down to the minor leagues. You brought him back. I don't want him. I want a third baseman. I want a catcher. Let's go
catcher
here.
Stinks.
Get him out of here. You brought him back.
I love you, Paul.
And one more thing,
yes,
guys.
Sir.
No. 3 minor leagues pitches? Really? That's what we're going to go with, 3 minor leagues pitches? Come on.
No,
could I please have an ace somewhere?
Well, I mean, they're trying to get an ace,
buddy.
Paul, and thank you for the call. Good stuff. You're entertaining us.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thanks, buddy.
You too. I understand. Look, he wants Pete back. By the way, I said the same thing. I'm at a point where I would make the investment. First of all, I'm tired of the back and forth. Like, enough already with the Alonso contract. Do they want him? Do they not? Does he want more money? Does he want to stay? That's why I came out last week and said that I would offer Pete ahead of the curve 6 years, $180 million. I think that's more than fair to Alonso. Getting out in front of the market, you might be overpaying, but I don't care. I value his offensive production. He's willing to be more of a DH because he wants the big contract. It's now or never for Pete. If he doesn't get a big contract now, he's never getting it. The question would be, is 6 years, $180 million enough for Pete Alonso? The other question would be, are the Mets willing to go to that extent? And you could make a case that both would be no. Maybe 6 for 180 is not enough for Alonso. He wants to test the open market and hope for better. And the Mets probably hear me and be like, 6 for 180? Are you saying we're not doing that?
I think it's more that. I don't know if the Red Sox going to offer 6 180 or the Orioles or some of those other teams that have been thrown around maybe that Pete could get some nice offers from. I'll tell you what, though, like the 6 years 180 just looking at the contract that Naylor signed, and again, I definitely like Naylor more than Sal does. If you guys are new to this, we got into it a little bit the other day. But 18 for Naylor versus 30 for Pete. I'll take Naylor. I'll take him.
Yeah, but you're just looking at it analytically.
Well, I mean,
and Naylor, what has Naylor proven in New York?
Those
are factors.
I understood. Pete's proven here. That's part of it.
I'm not just saying pick a power hitter off a tree and bring him in here for 6'1", 180. I'm talking about Pete. I'm talking about putting the stupid storyline to bed. I'm talking about a guy who's been a very good Met on his way to being an all-time great Met, a guy who at the bare minimum, you could talk about, well, if Alonso's not hitting, how does he impact the team in a positive way? And I'll say, well, when has Pete ever not hit with power? When has he ever not hit home runs? You could talk about his ribby numbers fluctuating, but I think that's also a byproduct of what's around him.
Yeah, a couple years ago, before Soto got here.
You can talk about his average fluctuating. One thing that doesn't fluctuate with Pete Alonso is his power, and that is something the Mets need. They need his power. That's why I'd be willing to extend for Pete and Pete only at 6'1", 180 and ahead of the market. Now, if it starts to go up, I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't want to play this game. You think somebody's giving Pete Alonso $200 million?
I don't.
I mean, at what point's it going to end? And if that's what the market says, then it's going to be on the Mets to make that decision. But maybe they've already made the decision. As I said before, there are some people that think that the Mets aren't going to go much more than 2 years.
Yeah, which to me is disrespectful. There's got to be a middle-of-the-road fine line between being reckless and being fair. I'm not even sure if the Mets will necessarily straddle that based on some of the, not a report that you drop, but some intel and just somebody's...
an industry source saying that.
An industry source.
2+1 at $30 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is probably 3+1. I would be reluctant 4+1 myself. There's no way I'm doing anything more than 4. That's just me. But I know that Pete's market's going to be a lot better this year. But we keep talking that it was a year ago. But we keep talking about like the Mets and their role. Which clearly is a big one here. Or I should say maybe their level of responsibility to do right by Pete. Maybe that's a good way to frame it. Well, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, if somebody does come out there would say 6 years, 185, or 6, 190, or 7, 200, whatever, and the Mets are in the ballpark, well, then let's see how much Pete really wants to be a Met. I mean, if it's one more year or, 2 or 3 more AAVs somewhere else, do you want to leave or do you want to stay?
Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
All right, let me tell you guys about one of the great gifts here, and it has been around forever. The Hess truck, it's back, and it's better than ever. You know the song. Yep, that one. It's that time of year again. Time for the Hess toy trucks here. This year's edition features 2 racers and 1 amazing holiday gift. Now, Santa left one under the tree for my kids a year ago, and I mean, it is like the stainless steel and the detail and the lights and the sirens. It is absolutely wild. It's great. The 2025 stock car, they're loaded with action-packed features that include 67 animated lights, 5 realistic sounds, and a pullback motor. Available exclusively at HessToyTruck.com. Only $49.99 with free standard shipping and batteries included. Now, these trucks, as you know, sell out every single year. Don't wait. Visit HessToyTruck.com and get yours today. Odyssey Sports Bit of Time right now, brought to you by Flag and Anthem. Real clothes for real life.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Lane Kiffin knows what it's like to stumble on the biggest stages, from the Raiders to USC, and he's never shied away from chasing the next challenge. With top programs pursuing him now, it's clear he won't back down from the biggest job on the table. Ole Miss wants an answer before the Egg Bowl, but Kiffin has built his career on taking risks. I'd be stunned if he stayed put. I'm Maggie Gray.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx. Made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
They give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
the story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. 1 token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. 1 legendary name, 2 exceptional destinations.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your online traffic. So this Black Friday, get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal with 73% off and enjoy 3 extra months.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, they deliver more than just quality fuel. They deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service, their dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving their community for generations. Give them a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Now back on the Fan, we're joined by Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Baldy, I didn't think we'd be starting with wrestling today, but what'd you think of Cam Scatterbo, injured Cam Scatterbo, mixing it up last night WWE Raw at the Garden?
Didn't he just have a fractured ankle?
Yes.
Like a dislocated ankle?
Yes.
It was bizarre. Just bizarre.
Thank you.
Honestly, I mean, it's a bad optic, but it's just bizarre. I mean, you're just trying to get yourself healthy and come back from a major injury. To see him in the quarterback there, I understand players could do whatever they want in their free time, but if I'm coming back from a fractured ankle, the last thing I want to do is be at a wrestling event. You just don't know what's going to happen. It's a crazy event. I don't know. It looked bad. It was weird to me.
I'm so happy you said that because when we say it, oh, you guys didn't play, oh, you guys don't know. So thanks for echoing what we believe here. And I think it's a greater issue. Bad move on his end. Abdul Carter seems to be a little sloppy. But yeah, he's a rookie, and sometimes rookies need to learn how to be pros. I think, Baldy, the bigger issue here is the Giants have no internal veteran leadership. Where are the guys who've been around for a couple of years showing the young bucks how to behave and how to act like pros? Where are they?
Who are they?
Even better.
Who are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's not Andrew Thomas is a great player, but that's not really what he does. He's a very quiet guy. I don't see him corralling everybody. This is how we do it. I just don't see it on the defense. I mean, Brian Burns is a free agent, came in here. He's just trying to have the best. He's playing great football. He's the best player. I know, Brian. It doesn't seem like something like everybody's following Brian. Not that he's not a leader. He does it by example. But you just don't have that core person who's a giant, understands what it means to be a giant, be in New York, be in the city, be in that, within the confines of everything that goes with playing in New York. I don't see many core guys like that on that team.
Is it a normal occurrence, whether it's back to your playing days, Baldy, or current days, which I know you're on teams all the time doing a game every week and talking to all these guys, is it a normal occurrence to have a player fall asleep and miss a walkthrough or fall asleep in meetings?
It's not uncommon that guys are sleeping in meetings. The last thing, I've known guys that have done that. It's not uncommon, but not for a rookie that hasn't proven himself and hasn't done anything in this league, hasn't done anything. For him to do that, that starts at the very top. There's got to be, then there's real internal leadership issues. If he's allowed to do that, or he thinks he could do that. He hasn't done anything. It's not like he's Lawrence Taylor and he can take a nap in the middle of the field before a game and go change the game on the third play. I've seen him do that when he played. But no, that's just, I don't know. It's just bizarre to me.
It's unprofessional. It should be unacceptable.
It's unprofessional. I don't know what he thinks he has done to earn anything, but that's just not good behavior. And it's just not, it's not professional. And when it gets out, it's out, it's, boy, you better go play your butt off for the next 6 weeks to, erase that stain.
Yeah. And Baldy, by the way, it's hard to look worse after you were fired, but I think Brian Daboll does look worse because, the report was that it's, happened a few times with Carter missing or being late to meetings, and there was never a penalty. I appreciate Mike Kafka trying to kind of reset the rules a little bit and flex a little bit. I don't think he went far enough, though. I thought he got it half right. What message does that really send sitting 6 plays? If that's really happening, sit your ass the whole game.
Yeah. Don't dress him.
Yeah.
Don't dress him. Because he didn't do much in the game as it was. He had 1 or 2 good pass rushes, but, he's not beating tackles out there. In fact, I know Abdul, so I don't care whatever my relationship is with him. But I wouldn't want that performance on tape if I was him, especially after the coach just sat you down. Because if you just took the name off the back of the jersey and forgot that he was a 3rd pick in the draft, okay?
Yeah.
You would think he's a free agent out there trying to make the team, the way he played. Because I saw Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker wire him up. And so, I didn't see anything special. I didn't see a special skill or trait that he demonstrated in that game that said that's why that guy was drafted as high as he was.
Well, here, you got to help us with this here. Now, I'd be lying. I'm not sitting there watching every single Penn State snap. Come on. But I watched him play in college enough to really like him. So what, and everybody shared that opinion, transformative talent, generational talent. He's going to be a stud. He's going to be the best, right? What was he doing on Saturdays? What was so special about him on Saturday that is not translating to Sunday?
He had a way of getting to the football, no matter what they did to him in college, and what you're looking for is elite traits, because most of the guys you play against at Penn State, most of the guys, you're going to play Wisconsin, you're going to play India, you're not seeing NFL players. It's not like the SEC where you're seeing NFL players across from you every week. You're not seeing that in much of now. Oregon came in, some other team. It's better talent than it has been. But still, you're not going up against, elite players at that level. You're not going up against Lane Johnson, and the guys he's seen this year. Mm-hmm. So, but you are measuring is, your burst, the ability to defeat a block, the ability to see things as they're developing and have the counter to be able to beat the blocker or the scheme, whatever, to get to the ball. You saw that a lot. But right now, you don't see a discernible trait outside of sometimes he'll get a really good takeoff, and takeoff is important. Burnsie has that almost every time. But elite takeoff, you see it sometimes, not all the time. But then you're just looking for, is he really strong? Is he really fast? What is the trait that he's going to lean on to become a great player? Especially if he's taking a nap in a meeting. You can work in this stuff and get better at it. Mm-hmm. And I would say that most rookies, especially in the defensive line, it takes a year to figure it out. You haven't seen the blocking schemes, the double teams, tight ends that can really block. You haven't seen a lot of that. And so you have to learn that. And practice is important, and tape study is important to try to figure some of that stuff out.
Insider Calls brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Baldy, what'd you think of the interim debut of Mike Kafka?
There's some things I liked. For example, they were good on the goal line. They ran the ball well. They stayed with the run. But even the Singletary touchdown runs, unbalanced line, different formations, different things. Sometimes that can be a tough yard down there. But they had 2 touchdown runs down there. I thought that was good. The fact that there wasn't a single quarterback run called. You can run an offense without running your quarterback. I thought, and obviously it's Jameis, so it's different than having Jackson. I get it. But still, 38 runs, all runs by the running backs. All right? So I thought they stayed with the run, especially in a close game. And so they limited the number of throws. And then I thought with that, they won the time of possession by 12 minutes. They outgained them. The interception at the end of the game, I don't know. I'm calling him out, but I don't know what Jalen Hyde's doing.
He stinks.
Honestly, you get exactly what you wanted. You got a 2-man route, high-low concept. Everybody runs this. They sat down on Wandale on 3rd and 6. You would expect that. That means Jalen, whoever's that X there, has got to run across the face. Jameis is throwing it to a spot, and he's trusting that the receiver is going to go get that ball. Now, obviously, if you have a Malik Neighbors there, he's going to go get that ball. Mm-hmm. You're going to probably win the game, at least tie it up. But I don't know what he was doing, because he doesn't look like he is expecting the ball. And it falls on Jameis, and everybody goes, that's Jameis. He's a double A. No, Jameis did what he's supposed to do. Yep. He read the defense. Go get the ball.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. So I exonerate Winston as well. All right. We've talked about the Giants' offensive line as being a problem for basically a decade, and they were awesome. You just talked about, the run game, and they were stout, and they were tough, and they sustained drives. With all the problems around the Giants, the O-line has certainly gotten better. Is it past the point of being league average, slightly below, a tick above? Where is that group right now?
I mean, honestly, we know the games that they've just, let slip away. But this is an offensive line that is certainly in the middle of the pack and is playoff worthy. I mean, Andrew Thomas, Micah Parsons lined up 5 times on him. He didn't get by him once. Not close. Now, Jermaine needs a little bit of help, but Jermaine played really good. Inside Van Roten, I think, is better than anybody thought he was going to be. After all these years, always thought of him as a backup, but he's he's earned his keep in there at right guard. Runyon is a solid guy, doesn't make many mistakes. Not the biggest guy, but he's very, very smart, and he knows how to play. And, John Michael's been fine when he's healthy in there right now. So it's at least the middle of the pack at the way that they're playing right now.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Brian Baldinger. Who do you think, Baldy's the best team in the AFC?
Well, you have to look at, what New England's doing because it's legitimate. I saw them 2 weeks ago against Tampa, and they took them apart. And they're playing rookies everywhere, but they're very well coached. And the quarterback is an elite, top echelon quarterback right now. So you have to consider them, especially with the winning streak that they have. I've seen Buffalo last week, and Buffalo is still Josh Allen worthy of beating anybody because he's just that much of a force, but defensively they're a mess. I would say that you have to really pay attention to Baltimore right now. You're going to see them this weekend. Like, that defense is legitimate. I think the offense still has another step to go, but I think that's a team that they're going to play Pittsburgh twice down the stretch here, and we'll see. But I think Baltimore is going to be a problem for a lot of teams right now. And Denver, that defense can travel anywhere and win right now. To beat Kansas City like that, and Kansas City and Andy Reid had 2 weeks to get ready for that game, and for them to shut them down, and the way that they did it, and then to win it at the end, again, I think that's their fifth come-from-behind victory this year, with Bo Nix making a huge throw. They're very well coached, and Sean Payton will use anything as motivation. I mean, Bill Cowher could say something on a pregame show that day, and he's using it as motivation in the locker room, and now he called the game.
Yeah, Sal's been pumping him up for weeks, so he's been on top of Denver. I hate to go from the elite to a doormat, but they are our doormat here, Baldy. That's the Jets. Just one or two quick ones here. Listen, I think it's really important that Aaron did make the decision to go to Tyrod Taylor. You're not going to save anything about this year, but like the Jets should be, and based on this decision are, in the information gathering part of the season. You got to find out about these receivers, and to do that, you got to actually have a quarterback who can throw.
I agree. I mean, you got to find out if A.D. Mitchell can be a 1A, a number 2. Like, it looks like he can, I mean, he's a talented player. Had a knucklehead play against the Rams this year that lost the game for him. But, I mean, he can run. He's 6'2". He's 205. He's in the 4.3s. Like, he's a legit talent. John Mechie, I don't know, he looks like more of a slot receiver. Yeah. He hasn't really established himself, but we got to see, what this rookie from Georgia can do right now. And he's got all the speed in the world. Can he run a route? Can he catch the ball? You got to find out about these guys right now.
What about Mason Taylor?
I like Mason. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's been underused, but I feel like his skills are good. And I think he runs really well. And in some offenses, he would have 40 catches right now. It's just a limited offense here. But I think he's a guy that you can game plan with, that knows how to get open, and I think he's going to be good after the catch. You can just see when he runs, scouting is a study of movement, right? So, he just is very fluid and very smooth, getting in and out of breaks, catching the ball on the run, high pointing the ball, all those things. It looks natural to him.
Thank you, Baldy. Appreciate your time as always.
Good stuff, man.
Okay, guys. You bet. I'll talk to you next week.
Yep. That was Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider calls are brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Let's get you updated right now. Here's Andrew Bogut.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish, your Sports Flash sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Dr. J. Shaw at Samwell Pain Management. Visit samwellpain.com. Maybe lost in the shuffle of Abdul Carter, Mike Kafka, Jalen Hyatt, the Giants needed a silent count at MetLife again on Sunday. Packer fans being loud like the Niner faithful was. Andrew Thomas weighed in last hour.
You don't anticipate having to do that at home, but that's the reality. And that's, partly because of how we played. So we just embrace it. We made the silent count a strength of ours, getting timing on the rushers, and it helps us out. So we just embrace it.
Carter, meanwhile, spoke to ESPN this morning, calling last week's missed walkthrough a, quote, honest mistake. He said again he was not asleep and that he has not been chronically late this season, as has been reported. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin confirming Aaron Rodgers does not need surgery for the broken bone in his left wrist. There is a chance Rodgers plays this weekend. And tonight's schedule has the Nets hosting the Celtics at 7:30 here on the Fan. The Devils in Tampa at 7. The Islanders in Dallas at 8. The Rangers in Vegas at 10. Fan weather is sponsored by Ray Catena Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It's 44 degrees, mostly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Who will stay? Who will go? Big questions loom for the Yankees and Mets this offseason. Get the latest here. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Embrace the mission and make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, you'll find the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to threes and assists. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/GO. That's GIO to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/GO. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
My man, Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, and sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for all their aches and pains. Visit SamwellPain.com.
What's happening, everybody? St. John should be lined up for an amazing season, year 3 with Rick Pitino, and I'm absolutely hyped to talk about the Johnnies here on The Fan. Let's go Red Storm. Sullivan Papain is fueling that fire as an official sponsor of the Red Storm, as our presenting sponsor of the Brandon Tierney Johnnies Report, bringing you every clutch moment on WFAN. One of New York's top personal injury firms and general counsel to the New York City Firefighters Union, Sullivan Papain is New York's team fighting for New Yorkers and our city's bravest with the same heart as the Johnnies, led by Coach Rick Pitino. Talk about winning teams on the court and in the courtroom. Listen up on WFAN with Sullivan Papain and check out TrialLaw1.com. That's TrialLaw1.com. New York strong, from the court to the community. Remember the name, Sullivan Papain. That's TrialLaw1.com, TrialLaw1.com. And remember the name, Sullivan Papain.
New Jersey might be small, but there's a lot of wow packed into this little state. Beach wows, mountain wows, and show-stopping wows. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Ho, ho, ho. Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I checked my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Rogue Platinum, 2025 Murano, or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 12/1/25.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score. Report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Are you fans? It's football season, so make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights gridiron action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights football is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need dummy rinse tonight. And I need it more. My kick myself in and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. The sweat and dead short smells like a dog car. I'm dummy rinsing tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
At the 5-yard line, handoff Breece Hall, finds a crease, runs left, he's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Jets fans, clear the runway and be at MetLife Stadium for Week 13 as your New York Jets take on the Atlanta Falcons. Sunday, November 30th at 1 p.m., presented by New Jersey Lottery. Join us as we celebrate First Responders Day. Don't miss your chance to be at the game. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The BT and Town Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. And right now we're going to tie in two worlds, the New York Football Giants and WWE. In studio right now joining us, wrestling royalty, Nattie Neidhart. Her book is out. We're on YouTube, so as well.
That's awesome.
Up there for
The
you.
Last Heart Beating. I'm like 110 pages through so far. I'm enjoying it. So we'll get to that in just a second, Natty. But Cam Scadaboo, were you at Raw last night?
I wasn't,
okay.
no.
So at Raw last night, we were there, and Cam Scadaboo of the Giants was there. He was sitting front row.
I saw that.
He's got a busted up ankle, and he got into a little physical
scuffle.
Yes, with Dom Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
BT called him out before, saying it's not a good thing for the Giants. We were talking about that, and then Scadaboo, you have it up there.
Scadaboo has reached out directly to WFAN, the newsroom here at WFAN. Cam took the video that we had, and he subtweeted the video, and then he responded very respectfully. Foot was off the ground, and the boys had my back with a couple of exclamations there. And then he had a salute emoji. Trust me, wouldn't do anything to jeopardize anything, my G.
Okay. So
and then 2 more exclamation points to let us know he was serious.
So that's from Scadaboo. Now, from a wrestler's perspective here, we're the nut job sports fans. Say, right. You're hurt. You're not playing. You're out for the year. What are you doing messing around getting involved with wrestling?
Listen, boys will be boys. And I will say that when it comes to the love of the game, I cannot believe how many people are such massive fans. I mean, I can't believe it. They're massive fans of WWE. And I loved the dynamic between, Judgment Day, which Dom and his guys, of course, JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Like, I love that energy of them with people that are in your mainstream sports. Like, whether we do stuff with people in basketball, we do stuff with people in football, we do stuff with people, like, we don't discriminate.
Is it on you to protect the athlete in the football player in that spot?
The celebrity?
Here's the thing. Bottom line is, don't ever shove a pro wrestler. Because energy matches energy, and sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. So if somebody, listen, if Beyonce comes to a WWE event and she wants to shove me, she's getting put in a sharpshooter.
There you go. That's something a lot of us will pay to see, by the way. All right, so, and this goes back in the day, like Dennis Rodman and Shaq and Karl Malone.
Yes.
And, even like Liberace, the ring announcer, Billy Martin, first WrestleMania.
Cyndi Lauper, yeah.
100%. Cindy with the Rock and Roll Connection. Like, that is the strength of the WWE, the ability to just go mainstream, and that's why it's where it's at.
And they bring people together, and it's so cool, especially with us being on Netflix, because Netflix has, 80% of the world can watch Netflix. And so it's opened us up to a different audience that we're just expanding. It's just there's so much visibility. And so that's the cool thing, is that I've worked with WWE now in January, it'll be 19 uninterrupted years.
Wow. Oh,
and grew up with it, with my dad being a big, star in the 80s, my uncles, my grandfather, of course, like big family business.
Oh, we know.
And but like, I love that professional wrestling, what we do in WWE, we bring people together. We bring people together from every walk of life that, you meet people that you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that they were a wrestling fan. Even the stuff that we did, we do so much community outreach work. Like, WWE has something called Connor's Cure, where we also work with kids that are terminally ill. We meet them. We go to hospitals all over the country, all over the world. And like, it's not just athletes. The company really brings people together in the best way. So that's what I love about, you never know what's going to happen at a show. You never know who's going to show up, and people just never forget those moments, even getting shoved by Dominic Mysterio.
BT and Sal in studio with Nattie Neidhart. Have you ever had to work with a celebrity turn wrestler before? I'm assuming you've had to train many before.
I mean, I worked with Betty White. I've worked with the Muppets. Listen, Kermit the Frog can grab a headlock.
Really?
Let me tell you that much.
How do you wrestle a Muppet? That's great. I didn't know that one.
I mean, I've worked with a lot of celebrities. I think Betty White was like the cutest, sweetest little thing ever, but she was like, don't fuck with me, sort of thing.
Hey, we can't say that.
Easy. That's right. We dumped it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good. Got it.
Natty dropping F-bombs on the air with BT and Sal.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Kermit and Miss Piggy were my favorites, but
And I was terrified of Animal when I was a kid. Animal scared the hell out of me.
By
banging
the way,
the drums, that wacko.
Grumpy Cat was a guest one time at WWE. We had Grumpy Cat there, and I will tell you, everybody was fangirling over Grumpy Cat. Like, that was a celebrity that everybody wanted a photo with. So all those people out there that say they're more dog people than cat people, they liked Grumpy Cat.
Well, I'm a dog guy, I gotta be honest with you. Yeah. So Sal knows this. I get lost on YouTube going back to the 80s and just watching whether it's a Piper's Pit. Like, I love the old interviews, right? That's really the first thing that kind of sucked me in, that pulled me into wrestling. Of course, you grew up around it, but did you love it right away, or initially did you try to resist it right away?
I mean, it's just been part of my family for so long, and like, I think I was always intrigued by it from the very beginning, but my grandfather didn't really want the girls in the family doing it, because back when he was, alive and promoting shows and raising his kids, it was more of it's a male-dominated world. But of course, now we've seen especially over the last decade, we've seen so much growth for women in wrestling that, like, I'm so happy that I pursued it. And by the way, when you guys know what it's like when your parents tell you not to do something.
Right.
My dad was like, you're not being a wrestler. You're not getting into the business. You're not doing it. And I document that in my book, The Last Heart Beating. But because my dad kept telling me no, I was like, I just wanted to do it to prove him wrong, and so that was there's a very big thread in my book, in the story of my book about like, my dad didn't want me doing it. I did it against his wishes, and then he ended up becoming my biggest cheerleader. I dedicate the book to my dad, but I also like the journey that I take with my dad on the book because, all relationships are complicated. So while I dedicate the book to him, we go through a lot of ups and downs in the book that people they don't know until they read the book. So many people, have told me that they think they know my story, and they're like, until I read the book. Mick Foley is actually reading my book right now. And Mick was like, Natty, I had no idea. He's like, I just had no idea. I had no idea until I started reading the book. And he's like, I haven't been able to put it down. So I love that people are becoming surprised, but like in the best way, where they're seeing a reflection of themselves in the book.
That's exactly how I feel. Now, I know you from Total Divas. I love that show. My wife and I used to watch it years ago. And I know you a little bit from wrestling, following it in and out over the course of the years. But for somebody growing up in the 80s, like your father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I think that there's this perception of, okay, well, Nattie Neidhart, she's a part of the Hart family. Okay, first female, which is a whole nother element that you had to overcome, which is incredible.
Yes.
Even more impressive than all the dudes, because it was one guy after another. You're breaking through as the first female in the Hart family, but also how difficult it was growing up in an environment that was not really healthy with the way that your dad had his lifestyle.
Well, and for me, I was in a family where like you grew up with a family of Hall of Famers, and they're all men. I'm not going to be the like. You look at my dad, my uncles, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, the British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid, my grandfather, Stu Hart. They're all like Hall of Famers, and they're all incredible. But I was the one that was the least likely to survive in this business. And so I'm the only one that's still in WWE, still doing it, at this level. So it's funny because I was the one that was least likely to make it, and then I'm, carrying on the family's legacy, which is huge. But that's what I love about the story, is that so many people think like, and listen, if I was on the outside looking in, I'd go, wow, well, of course she had like her family's this, all these legendary names. Like, of course it was easy for her to get into WWE. I said this on Cody Rhodes' podcast, but I was like, back in the day, I just wished so much that somebody could have made a call. Like, just pick up the damn phone, give, the powers that be a phone call and say, please just give my niece a chance, or give my daughter a chance, or give my granddaughter a chance. We weren't in a place when I was trying to get into the business. We weren't in a place with WWE where we could really do that, because my dad wasn't connected to the company. Brett was still going through stuff with the company. Yep. My grandfather wasn't alive. Owen wasn't alive. So my Uncle Davey wasn't alive. So it was very, very hard. Now, 20 years later, I am so grateful that nobody ever picked up a phone and said, please help Natty, because I had to scratch and claw and fight tooth and nail to get everything I had. And like, I wouldn't have this insane, this book has just been like, I think it's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah, you're bubbling with enthusiasm. This is great.
Well, we left the book in a way that people really want more, so there is still more to come. I didn't leave on an ending. We didn't end it. There's a lot more to come, and I can't announce what's coming next, but we left it in a way that the only negative feedback that I'm getting about this book is people are sad that it ends. They're like, I'm sad that it's over. I just wanted to keep going. And so I just love the way that it's making people feel. If I hadn't had that journey that I had in the book or in my career, I would never have been able to write this book. If I didn't go through all of those things, it's like the movie have you guys ever seen The Shawshank Redemption?
It's one of the best of all time.
So it is my favorite movie ever.
Phenomenal.
And I love that he, Andy Dufresne, the main character of that movie, I love that he has to go through so much. And he like makes it out on the other side, and he not only makes it out, but he is not, he lives to tell his story, and he's not broke or broken. And that is the true measure of success. And that's a big, big theme in my book, is that, in a world where everybody in my family has done everything, I'm not going to be the first woman to main event WrestleMania. I won't be the first person to get into the Hall of Fame. I won't be the first person to win a championship in my family, but I will be the first person in this family to leave this business not broke and not broken, and able to look at myself in the mirror and like realize what's real in life.
Yeah.
That's what's real.
It seems like one of the, not to put myself in your dad's mind or Brett's mind or anybody that from your family, but it seems like the older generation has a lot of resentment for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But so many of which are real.
You're not
by the
wrong.
way.
Yeah.
Whether it's the way their bodies are, the way they were wrestling 350 times a year, lack of money, lack of health. Do you ever, while your entry into the field was hard and it actually made it better for you downstream, you ever think about what your family went through in terms of the road? That is something that you didn't have to deal with, living on the road in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s as a wrestler. How was your dad even present after coming back from being away?
Great question.
How are you a normal human being?
My dad was gone for most of my childhood. He was gone on the road 300 days a year. So we never got to spend time with him. He would come home for 2 days, he'd be gone for 28 days. And that was the norm. And back then, back in the day, they didn't have what we have today. They didn't have the amazing medical that we have in WWE. They didn't have, in WWE, they talk to us so they work with us on so many different areas. They have incredible they work with an incredible group that, they protect people as far as their mental health and work with people on their financial stuff. They even have dietitians for us and people that are financial planners. We have every resource in the sun, under the sun. Voice. And if they feel a certain way, they feel a certain way. When people will say to me, well, this person said this or that person said that, everybody is allowed to feel how they want to feel, and their feelings, to me, are validated. If Brett went through a lot in his career, and he had a very serious injury that was career ending, I think his injury still really affects him today. We've lost a lot in the industry, including my uncle Owen, and our family and Brett included. He's just been through so much. So whenever he feels how he feels, I always just say he's allowed to feel how he wants to feel because he paid his dues. And I'm not saying his always my feelings because I'm just in a different place in my life, and I've had a very, very different career. But Brett especially, he wrote the introduction to my book, which is it's the forward before the forward. And he wrote the most beautiful introduction that really he just knew the story before I even told the story. And I will always just be so grateful to him. He's reading the book right now, and he's texting me and telling me how it's making him laugh and cry and everything in between. So, and John Cena actually read my book.
Look at you.
You read it already?
So I gave John Cena came to the dungeon a couple weeks ago, and he came in.
You still have the dungeon there?
We have a new dungeon that my husband and I created. It's becoming very popular. But John had reached out and sent me a text, and he goes, "Hey Natty, can I come to the dungeon? I want to just go there." I thought he was coming in to train. I thought he was going to come in and run the ropes or whatever. I said, "John, I'll give you a key, and you can just come in privately. That way you don't have to get swarmed with everybody trying to take photos and all of our students that
can we come? Can you open it up for us at some point?
Yes,
we'll come.
Of course, you guys can come." So John goes, "No, Natty, I want to come to your ring during your practice, and I want to give a master class." Basically, he came in, spent the whole night with us, showed up 20 minutes early. That's what a damn pro he is. Yep. Gave a master class to over 25 of our students at the dungeon. Gave basically just. He wanted to give everybody the answers to the test. He was like, this is, I want to give you guys everything I know about how to succeed in this business. So at the end of the night, I gave him my book, and I was like, just wanted you to have this. And I wrote a little message for him inside of it, just about gratitude and what he means to me in the industry. The next day, he goes, I was flipping through the book. I started reading it. He goes, I couldn't put it down.
Wow.
That night, because I don't know if this is one of the busiest guys in the world. Right. That night, John sent me a text, and he goes, Natty. He goes, I finished the book. He goes, wow, wow, wow. He goes, I was bawling my eyes out. If you can make John Cena cry.
Yeah, that's a great job. If you could get him to read your book and then get him to cry.
I think he hadn't planned on reading it. And then when you start, that's the thing about the book is that it's meant to be kind of a page. It's a big page turner and there's a lot of cliffhangers, but it's a story.
Can I tell you what I like about it? By the way, BT and Sal in studio, Nattie Neidhart. We'll take a break in a second here and come back and have another segment with you. The thing that I was looking at it from was a child's perspective, because at the time growing up when I was a fan of your father, we're similar age, I think.
Yes,
okay.
29.
Yeah, exactly, Natty. But we're similar age, so I'm looking at it through the lens of, wow, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, your father, and all the access to all the wrestlers, Hulk Hogan and Beefcake and his Speedo and all that stuff coming out. So that's what she talks about in the book. But then the fact that you kind of lost it all. Not you, but your father lost it all. And you and your mother and your sisters picking up the slack and having to go to work. That's not something that you think of when you think of, wow, what must it be like to be Jim the Anvil Neidhart's children?
Yeah.
That was a rough upbringing.
Well, we were homeless. And I know you guys have to go to break, but let's pick back up on that because, you know, there's a chapter in the book where I write about us being homeless, and everybody at school saw my dad as a WWE superstar, and they were like, they're rich, they're famous, they have all this money, and we didn't have anywhere to live. And so, you know, we were going through a very hard time where we didn't know where we were going to get our next meal. We didn't know where we were going to sleep. But I loved being able to share it because on the other side of that tough part of our lives is hope.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Take a quick break. Come back with more with Nattie Neidhart. The book is The Last Heart Beating. I'm already 110-ish pages through, and I love it. It took me a day to read that, or a day and a half, so I can't wait to finish the rest of it. More with Nattie when we come back. Islanders hockey is here. Grab an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Islanders on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, just 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. It's so easy to sip and enjoy it all day long. I know from experience. It's not a seltzer. It's a Surfside, official partner of the New York Islanders. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
All right, this winter, celebrate the joy of the season. A new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and the optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of the Lyric. I know that Sal's been in. You had the optic or the Lyric? I forget which one.
I had the Lyric and the optic. They let me drive for a little bit. Yes, love them both.
Oh, phenomenal. Discover the comfort of a spacious 3-row Vistix. So anything you want, Sal, the Cadillac is obviously a great way to go. It looks awesome. Get almost 500 miles when you charge it up. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. The BT and Sal Show, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
The Scarlet Knights take on the American Eagles. 6:30 tonight on AM 660. The home of Rutgers Big Ten college basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey apps.
I'm Den Day from the BetMGM Network here to help you beat the books. I'm taking Duke laying 11.5 tonight against Kansas. This line is massive, but sometimes to beat the books, you got to follow the books. Kansas is likely without Darren Peterson tonight, which puts the Jayhawks at a massive disadvantage, and we've seen early that this Duke team led by Cam Boozer is unbelievably talented with a ton of depth, so I'm riding with Duke laying 11.5. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Billed monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. The new center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So, I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone too for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family. Drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
for monthly bill credits and 4 eligible board-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. But pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get an impressive offer on a new Mazda CX-5 starting at $28,319 during the More to Move You sales event. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Stars rise, legends are made, and one player rules them all. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, brings you King of the Court every Tuesday. Here's the deal. DraftKings puts up $1 million in bonus bets each week. Opt in, apply your token, and place a $5 pregame bet on the NBA star you think will dominate each Tuesday. If they finish the night leading the league in points, rebounds, and assists, they're crowned King of the Court, and you win your share. Download DraftKings Sportsbook and use code WFAN for your shot at a share of $1 million in bonus bets with code WFAN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. One token per customer that expires at the start of the final NBA game when offered. Winning shared as $1 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
At Volkswagen Manhattan, experience premium service in the heart of New York. Visit their flagship showroom on 56th and 11th. Volkswagen Manhattan, where sophistication meets performance.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Once upon a time, Dunkin' made the perfect donut, and from its center came something even better. Dunkin' Munchkins. Tiny bites of joy made from the dough they scooped right out of the middle. This holiday season, Dunkin' Munchkins remind us that even the smallest of things can mean the most, like laughing with friends or enjoying the last munchkin in the box. So grab a box of 3, 5, 25, or 50. Share them, gift them, or just keep them all to yourself. We won't tell. It's Dunkin' Munchkins. Proof that something so small can be the best bite of all. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Now back in studio with Nattie Neidhart. The Last Heart Beating is the book. I love it so far. Can't wait to get more. Obviously, we talked about Cam Scattaboo and his interaction last night at Monday Night Raw. But I do want to get more into your story here, Nattie, as we have you for a few more minutes. In the book, I find fascinating things that I didn't understand. Not only the first female of the Hart family to go as far as you have taken it, but also the way that you had to get in. And there's no easy way to say this. The fact that you were told that you needed to lose 30 pounds before you even got like your first shot, and then you immediately taking that and losing 30 pounds to get in, basically making it more about the physical nature of things as opposed to your in-ring ability.
Well, back when I was trying to get hired, it was like there was a different demand for what they wanted for the girls. And so that's the thing is that's to me, I look back on it and I don't feel like angry about it. I feel like it was just, it's an aesthetic industry, and it's like, it's especially like if somebody's trying to get into a movie or get a movie part for example, like if they're trying to get on as a ballerina in a movie, they can't have a 300-pound ballerina. You know what I mean? Like when I was trying to get hired by WWE, that's what they wanted. They wanted models. They wanted dancers. They wanted girls that looked like they came out of a Victoria's Secret's catalog. I was never fat, but I was also, when I look back at the photos that I was sending in and the tapes, and like I was sending in like, just like promo shots, headshots, but like I was like, I wouldn't have hired me. I just looked like I had all this baby fat. I wasn't polished. I was like, I am mortified now thinking about the stuff that I sent them. I'm like, Natty, you didn't even brush your hair in that picture and you were sending it to WWE. Like, but they wanted, they wanted their women to look a certain way, and it was, a glamorous look. And of course, I'm a recovering tomboy, so I was very rough around the edges. I trained with men in the dungeon. I was wrestling in Japan. I was 30 pounds heavier than what I am right now. So it wasn't like I was fat, but listen, when your dad is Jim the Anvil Neidhart, you're just going to be a little beefy.
Your mic there, BT. I don't think
I'm sorry. We were talking during the break there. Did your dad walk around with that sadistic laugh here? And you immediately said, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that might be, maybe it's the scariest, craziest laugh I've ever heard. And I was going to ask you, really, because it's about you, not so much about your dad, but about your story. How did you date? I mean, so you lost the weight to get involved in wrestling, but how does somebody ring your doorbell and get accepted by those 6 or 7 lunatics who were standing behind you?
They didn't ring the doorbell. That's the thing, is that like I didn't have anybody ringing the doorbell because my dad was not he wasn't an approachable father for people to ask me out on a date. So I never dated anyone. I never, ever, ever, ever had a date with a guy. Until TJ is my first and only love. Like, and that's actually a really cool thing in the story, is that there's a love story in this. My dad, our childhood was very rocky, which is documented in the book. And my dad, it was very volatile. There was ups and downs. We talked a little bit earlier about, my dad was struggling a lot with demons, and I write about this in the book. My dad, we ended up finding out that my dad had a traumatic brain injury, but I didn't know that when we were growing up. We didn't realize that until much, much later on in my life.
CTE, right?
And my dad he had a brain injury. And so after he passed away, we were able to study his brain. We were able to see that his very, very early years of playing tackle football without a helmet. My dad would brag about it. He would talk about, when I was young, I would get my bell rung, and my coaches just admired me and respected me so much because I would just keep playing. I would just go back out on the field and I would play. And he kind of wore it. I mean, he wore it as a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And that was in his teens. He started playing when he was 11 years old. So we know now that, because of what we know about concussions, in WWE now, and they're just so careful about all of that. Like we don't, we have such a incredible protocol that really is just amazing. But back in the 60s, nobody had that. So in the 60s and 70s, my dad was very proud of how hard he played. And so in his early 20s, in his 30s, in his 40s, we were able to, before I was even born, my grandmother was noticing different changes in my dad and different things. So I just think that my dad, living most of his life with a brain injury, it escalated as he got older. It definitely, it was coming to life more, and it takes years for CTE to
manifest itself.
Every case. I'm not a scientist, but every case is situational. But for my dad, for a long time, he was able to keep it together until he wasn't able to keep it together.
Yeah,
and now knowing and understanding what his brain injury was from those very, very early years, it makes so much sense. But when we were growing up, there was a lot of volatility. So we didn't have, we were kids and we were, my dad would lose his job. And then when he lost his job, we would, we didn't have money to eat. We didn't have money saved for a rainy day.
It probably makes it easier to love him unconditionally moving forward. as his daughter, knowing that he had things that he couldn't control.
Yes. Actually, the book was such a therapeutic experience for me because after writing the book, I was really able to forgive my dad. I was able to let go and forgive him for everything that had happened when we were growing up because I was able to understand that there were so many times that I was like, does he just not love us? Does he just not care about us? Does he just not, like, why does he keep making these mistakes? Why is he missing flights? Why is he missing shows? Why is he making these choices? And so once we were able to unlock, with the best brain doctors in the entire world, they're right out of Boston. Once we were able to unlock what was really going on and they were able to say, yes, this is very consistent with his early years, it just let me forgive my dad. And so there's a lot of people that are reading the book that my story is resonating with them because they're seeing a reflection of themselves in the book and they're going, wow, like I get that. I can see that. I can relate to that. And, for us, like if my grandfather hadn't stepped in and given us a place to live, I don't know when I was 10, 11, 12, in those, my early teens, I don't know where we would have stayed.
Wow.
Because my mom was just trying to take care of us on her own and my dad was out of control. And
he was so embarrassed that he couldn't even stay with you guys.
Well, he just had so much pride and he was he always was trying to get it together, but he just never could get it together.
He didn't want to face your grandfather, right?
And he didn't want to face my grandfather. He still was a man that had so much pride. He was like a lion that still wanted to roar, but like he just couldn't get it together, and I don't think he had the capacity to. And so now I understand it, and I've totally forgiven my dad. But it doesn't change the fact that when you're a kid, you go through all that. And so these early years made me want to be absolutely perfect when I got to WWE. I was like hell-bent on showing the WWE, the upper management, that I was going to be nothing like my dad. I was going to be so perfect. I was going to be the best female wrestler that they've ever had. And so I had these really high expectations for myself where I would literally I was like the ultimate people pleaser.
Yeah.
And so I write about that in the book too, because I was like, all I ever wanted to do was be what they wanted me to be. And then I realized that at the end of the book, I was like, be who you need to be. Be who you need to be for you. Don't worry about what Vince McMahon wants or what Triple H wants or what this person wants or what that person wants or what you think this person needs. Be you. And when you can really just be your true, authentic self is when you do your best work.
Amen.
Yeah, right.
Amen.
And that's really where I'm at is like, I'm just like, and it's cool because WWE, Triple H, the powers that be in the company, Nick Khan, everybody that's in the company and that's able to make really great decisions, like they're so supportive of me writing this book, doing this new character that I'm doing outside of WWE that I'm hoping to bring to WWE.
What's that?
I'm doing a different character. Actually, last April, this past April this year, I asked if I could do my first ever show outside of WWE for Bloodsport for a promotion called GCW.
Okay, yeah.
I got permission from WWE to go do
while you're still an employee.
While I'm still under contract with WWE. And I built a new character, and I was like, I need to be this character that I've always wanted to be. This is Stu Hart's granddaughter from the dungeon. This is like that Stu Hart grit, comes out with cornrows, just wears a black singlet, amateur wrestling shoes. I walk out with my dungeon fight club, and we go in the ring. When the bell rings, I go out there, and I will not swear, but I beat the living beep beep out of people. And the thing is that like, I love wrestling. So it's like when the bell rings, you better watch out because there's no woman that can hang with me. And I've proven that.
Love that.
And I'd like to see the women that can hang with me because it's going to be a showdown.
There you go.
Look at that.
I might be calling out Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
let's go,
okay,
Rhea.
There we go.
You heard it.
I love Rhea. Rhea, by the way, she can look scary in the ring, but she's the biggest sweetheart. Like she's like a teddy bear. She's one of my favorite people to wrestle.
What's your go-to order at 7-Eleven?
Oh God, I love 7-Eleven.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
I love 7-Eleven. I'll never stop.
Give me
loving
the go-to. What are we looking at? Slurpees?
I like to get the Doritos.
Oh, okay.
The traditional regular cheese Doritos. I like to get a Slurpee. I usually get a small Slurpee. They get too sweet, but I love myself a small Coca-Cola Slurpee. I do really like the in Calgary, where I used to live, they would have the hot dogs. They had these really good
Big Bite.
Oh,
Big Bite hot dogs. They were so good.
Well, tell us why you love 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven was right next to my grandfather's house. And so when we were kids growing up at the Hart House, my grandfather would always have health food. He was big on, really just everything was healthy. It was no junk food in the house.
Protein, vegetables, fruit,
just fruits, vegetables, things that ran on the earth and things that grew from the ground, pretty much, and milk. And he didn't have junk food. So us kids, we wanted junk food. So up the hill, up above the Hart House was the 7-Eleven. So the Hart kids would always walk to 7-Eleven, and we'd always get Slurpees, and it was just it's a nostalgic thing that I'll never stop loving 7-Eleven. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool.
Yeah, we just love our Slurpees.
What a family. What an experience. My God.
Yeah. I mean, like we said before,
awesome.
Wrestling royalty. Make sure you check out the book.
You guys are the best.
Nattie Neidhart, thank you so much for your time. And by the way, tell TJ. Now, I always thought TJ, so his name is TJ Wilson.
Yes.
But he was Tyson Kidd.
In WWE.
So, is he Dynamite's son?
No, he's not. But it was a name that his trainer gave him. He had a Japanese wrestling trainer named Tokyo Joe, and he named him, we would call him Stampede Kid. And so my grandfather had a promotion called Stampede Wrestling, so Joe was like, you're going to be Stampede Kid. And then when he got to WWE, he was coming up with names, and he's like, why don't I? They wanted to call him Tyson. And TJ's favorite athlete, he loves Mike Tyson. So TJ's like, Tyson's perfect, but then can we say Kid at the end? So TJ's the best.
First of all, I was thinking, Tyson Kidd must be Dynamite Kid's son. It was just a stupid thing thinking.
No, you're fine.
But I had to beat him in fantasy football this week. And TJ and I are in a fantasy football league together through Brian Myers.
So I've heard.
Yes. And unfortunately, TJ ran into what I like to call a buzzsaw in my team. And he got beat pretty bad. But I've heard great things about him. And I'm learning a lot about him through your book as well, because it's not just yours. I mean, obviously, it's your story.
I do tell a lot of his story, too.
Well, yes, because you two grew up together in the dungeon, and with the family, obviously his family kind of intertwined, taken in there. Yeah, but I didn't realize that you two growing up together, not only in the ring, and he was the one who encouraged you to go follow your dream and be a wrestler.
TJ was the first person that told me, he's like, you should do this, and he really gave me the courage to chase my dreams. And he had I love being able to share some of his story too, because TJ grew up with a single mom and 2 sisters and never met his dad, still has never met his dad. And his mom was very poor. Like, they lived in women's shelters. So that's how, when TJ met my family, he was only 10 years old. So he went to school with my cousin. And at the time when he met my cousin, he was only 10 years old. He might have been in grade 2. But he was living in women's shelters with his mom, and she was very poor. So my family realized, hey, TJ, he was kind of undernourished, He was very small, and TJ, now he talks about it like he can talk about it, but he's like, there just wasn't anything to eat. He'd open up his fridge as a kid, and there was just nothing in there. And so my family had noticed that he was thin, and they basically took him in and treated him like he was their own. And so my family basically helped save TJ's life. And so that's why, I think TJ's always had so much gratitude towards the Hart family, because he knows that his mom was just struggling. His mom is an incredible woman, but she was dirt poor, trying to raise 3 kids off of nothing. And, TJ's, it's just, he's got such a cool story. So to be able to share part of his story, and he was very supportive of the book with me. He was like, just tell the story you want to tell, and don't worry about whether I like it.
Last one for you. Best wrestler in your bloodline, lineage, Hart family, foundation, whatever. Who do you think's the best wrestler?
Who I think is the best?
Yeah.
I know this is a given because everybody already kind of
You can say yourself here too, Natty. Come on.
Well, I am the last, in the words of Tupac, the last mother beep.
Try not cursing, no.
breathing. I think personally the one that I look up to the most, and it's the one that everybody's going to say, I think the best wrestler, arguably one of the best wrestlers that ever lived, just for his body of work and his historical matches, I think it's Bret Hart.
That's the answer.
And so while arrogant, rotten, mean Natty would say, it's me because I'm the best. I just think Bret is, and I'll say it to his face, I'll say it behind his back. I'll say it to you guys. I'll say it in front of the world. I just think that arguably Bret is one of the greatest professional wrestlers that's ever lived because you look at his body of work. You look at the matches that he had with Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13. You look at the match that he had against Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man match. Who in the hell can make an hour-long match entertaining? Well, they did. They went like over an hour. You look at the match that Bret had with Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam. You look at the match that Bret had with the British Bulldog.
Yeah.
You look...
I look at the evolution of Bret really coming from almost a Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage.
He's never
you know what I mean?
had a
Spawning
match.
into that athletic.
Yeah, and he's just never had a match with anyone that hasn't been good.
He was phenomenal.
He could work with anyone, and so his
Technician.
work is still studied today.
Yeah, even Andre liked working with him. Andre
loved working with Bret. Randy loved working with Bret. I just think I loved his chemistry with Shawn Michaels. I love that big fight feel, that real. Everything felt very, very, very real.
But from your book, this is quote, Bret Hart, on you. She's one of the WWE's all-time greats, and she can boast as proudly as I ever did that she is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I mean, that's pretty high. I know it's your uncle, but still, if he could say that you're the best there is, and you had to deal with more difficult circumstances getting in than he did.
It was very, very challenging getting in, but I'm in, and I'm still standing.
There you are.
I'm the last heart beating.
Yeah, the last heart beating. Check out the book. It's fantastic. I'm learning a lot about Natty, as I hope you all did today. And look, we talked about it with Scadaboo before, just to tie it in as we got to wrap up the show here. We'll do more on the Giants tomorrow, and we look ahead to their matchup on Sunday. Maybe Jackson Dart coming back, get into the Jets and all that stuff, the baseball hot stove. But we started the show talking about Monday Night Raw with Cam Scadaboo getting in a scuffle with some of the wrestlers, Dom Mysterio. We end it with Nattie Neidhart in studio, the last heart beating. Check it out. It's out now everywhere.
I just followed you guys also on Instagram too.
Oh, fantastic!
So, like us personally or the show?
WFAN, but I'll follow you guys personally too.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,